with a pen, I'm learning life. My thirst is divine, words inspire in perfect time. Nurtured right, them man there be learning lines, rehearsing life. Trust me, far from certified. Acting while you sleep, I'm working nights. I want all the ups to feel like that Jurgen guy on Merseyside.
Yes, guys. Yes, people. Big up. Welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another match review and the first dominant win I've seen from Chelsea in fucking ages, bro. That game was refreshing. That game was so refreshing because it's been ages since I've seen us win and win convincingly, but we absolutely pammed AC Milan, and we're going to get into everything regarding that game, all the talking points, and yeah, everything we're going to get into in today's video. So big up everyone, smash the like and subscribe button. Apologies for the lateness and everything, but that Kante news and everything just completely threw me off, so I needed another 10-15 minutes. But we'll get into that Kante stuff as well. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised if he ended up staying in London, but I just don't really want to see him in an Arsenal Spurs kit. But we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Big up everyone that's locked in, though. Smash the like and subscribe button on your way into the video. We got over 100 of you guys in here already, and that means we're going back on the algorithm. So let's go, people. Yeah, check out Jerseys FC for your best affordable Chelsea kits down in the description below, and football kits, and use the code CarefreeLewisG for 20% off. If you guys want to be involved in a chance to win a free, well, not necessarily free, but a cheap Chelsea away kit, we're giving away a free one on the channel, so any super chat, any amount gets you into the lottery for a chance to win a new Chelsea kit. And yeah, what else? Flawless's video. Check out Prayer for the Ops down in the description below. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it, people. Big up Liam Lane, Clicks, J Cam, Big Ron. I said, M Hussein says, guys, I can't find Liao. Don't worry, bruv. Here he is, bruv. Man's locked up in the Reece James Penitentiary. We finally got this one completed because people have been screaming for a new penitentiary for ages. But yeah. Reece James Penitentiary. Let's fucking go, people. Best right back in the league. Best wing back in the league. Potentially best finisher in our squad. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. Trap Mash, big up yourself, my guy. It was good to see you. We should have spoke for longer, but I was rushing through that vlog, so my bad. But if you're at another game, shout me. Shout me. Chelsea OG, big up yourself. Josh96. Click says we need to talk about Reuben's performance. Yeah, yes, we do. Yes, we do. And I'm looking forward to when Josh comes in as well, because I know he's going to be talking about how brilliant Reuben was. And he deserves all the flowers, because I'm so shook of every midfield that we play. Like, any pivot, any three-man midfield, I'm just thinking, oh, this is going to be so fucking mid. Reuben and Kovacic absolutely bossed it. Reuben was a fucking nuisance to that whole midfield. Did he play the full 90? Yeah, I think he played the full 90. However long he was on the pitch for, he was unbelievable. He was using his strength excellently. He was brilliant in the defensive and the attacking phase. Drew a lot of fouls because of how good he is at dribbling for his size. Brilliant performance, unbelievable performance. And I don't want to jump to any conclusions off it or anything, but this is why having a squad player like Reuben is so invaluable to us, because he's never demanding too much. He's never asking for massive wages or demanding too much game time. Just wants his fair chance, just wants to be given opportunities. And he low-key turns up for us. Like Real Madrid away, brilliant performance at wing-back. Crystal Palace in the semi-final, brilliant performance in that game as well. Tottenham earlier this season, even though it is Tottenham tax. And now AC Milan. Like, I know Reuben has his terrible performances as well. We ain't going to act like he's now suddenly the answer to all of our midfield problems. But we'll credit a brilliant performance where it's due, because this game was must win. And I was looking at that midfield, especially the first 10-15 minutes, and I was thinking, we're going to get battered. We're going to get fucking battered. But no, they came into it, absolutely dominated Benacer and Tonali. I had my eye on Benacer as well, because he was meant to be being looked at as a Jorginho replacement. He got bodied. He got absolutely bodied. But we move. We won't judge him off one game either. It's what it is. It's good to see Lewis with a smile after a match. Say, yeah, bruv, it's been too fucking long. Even when we win, I'm sitting there thinking, we won, but we're fucking shit, man. I'm not even thinking that after yesterday's performance. I will say, though, don't jump to any conclusions off it. Don't think, oh, we're back. Potter's going to go on a run of games or anything, because AC Milan played a very open game. And you know how much we thrive in more open surroundings. When we play Wolves on Saturday, it is going to go straight back to low block FC. It is probably going to be like watching paint dry. But at least now, we go into that game with a bit more confidence. Because that's what that sort of performance gives us. Gives us belief, it gives us confidence. We weren't struggling through a game for once. We were actually imposing ourselves. We were actually dominating. We were creating chances. That game could have been more than 3-0. And it was just a bit of poor decision-making, really, in the final third, which is kind of the same as usual. We always take too many touches in the final third. We did that before we even got to 2-0. I thought Sterling's decision-making was poor. But this is the thing between a Sterling and Havertz or Mount or Pulisic or Ziyech. They will have crap games. And when a Havertz or a Pulisic stinks out the pitch, you will know. Because it will look like we're 10 men. When Sterling stinks and he has a bad performance, his standard doesn't drop. He's still beating players. He's still drawing fouls. And the guy still came up with an assist at the end of it. This is what I mean when I say raise the expectations and the standards of what you see from other players. Don't credit people because like, oh, he was poor, but he still had good work rate, or he tried nothing. No, tell me what he does when he's on the ball. Because that is going to be what determines the quality of a player. Not just when they're playing well, but when they're playing poorly. And for Sterling, there you go. Right there. That was probably his worst performance in a Chelsea shirt. He's still got an assist. He's still had impact on the game. That's the difference. What else everyone's saying? Because I'm like 6 minutes in. 6 minutes behind everyone in the comments. Goyam says 1-3-0, but my idol still ghosted, sadly. It's time to sell Mason Milner to Spuds. Fair enough. I thought you were talking about Havertz for a sec, but it is what it is. I thought Mount was better in the second half, though. I'll give him that, but it's like the game also opened up a little bit by then because AC Milan were chasing the game even more. So there was more space for him to deal with, and he was losing the ball less, but that was about it. First off, he was atrocious. He was falling all over himself, getting dispossessed for fun. All he had was like one good shot in the first half, and then that nice little link up with Aubameyang, but he was offside. But that was it. Steve says, who's your random match? Bro, it has to be the new warden of the new penitentiary, Reece James. It couldn't be anybody else. Well, I am telling a lie. It could have been Thiago Silva as well. Because that guy, bruv, like, you run out of words to describe him because you say the same shit every single day, but he's unbelievable. Like, his reading of long passes, short passes, positional awareness, second to none in the world, let alone the league, the world. He kept Olivier Giroud quiet, and fair enough, Giroud's slow as well, so you don't really have to follow him for too long, but it is also about cutting off the passing lanes to him, and he did an excellent job of doing that. Anytime a ball went to Giroud, Silva was right there, every single time. And Giroud was just frustrated, but there wasn't much he could have done anyway. What else everyone's saying? Kepa clean sheet, Matt's minerals have been completely drained. Yeah, he's going to come in on his nonsense and his fucking ice spice bullshit and everything. But yeah, another clean sheet for Kepa. Still didn't really do much though. Other than that, the Ketelaere save, which I thought was a terrible shot in all honesty, he didn't really do anything. And by the way, his kicking was atrocious. Like, if we're talking about Kepa as better distribution than Mendy, he did not show that yesterday. Every single kick out from him went out for a throw-in. Every single one. But still good performance. I mean, kept a clean sheet. Probably should still start the next game. And yeah, keep it up. Any news on Fofana? I don't know, but people are worried about an ACL injury based off the way that he fell into his knee. I still haven't seen it because just haven't got through to seeing the injury yet. But if it is an ACL, it's like we will never have a peaceful day at this football club. Never. Because we finally had our back five. Like, granted, I don't think Cucurella played, but like we had our back five sorted, and we finally were playing our best back three. And now we have this injury to Fofana, could be out for a couple months, and we only just signed the brother. Like, what the fuck? But it is what it is. I hope Fofana gets well. Hopefully, it's just nothing too deep or anything, but we'll see. We'll see. I can't say too much about it. RLC done it still, Jake. Why do we need to bring Jorginho into this when the guy didn't even play? Didn't even come off the. No, he did come off the bench actually, but why he didn't even start? Why do we need to bring him into it? Because this is the thing: you'll compare Reuben to Jorginho, and then people get at Reuben because he'll have an awful performance after that. Like, Reuben ain't consistent as well. That's why I'm saying credit the performance, and let's just move to the next game. Let's not do a comparison, because this is where stands start beefing other stands, and then it just turns into an RLC versus Jorginho thing, and nobody wins. Oh, okay, yep, he's turned up. Big up yourself, Matt. Big up yourself, bruv. Duoscope says AC Milan was shit, let's be honest. They were, but they also did start well. So I don't know how much I could say was down to injuries, because it felt like just a goal completely changed the tide of the game. It was a completely different match before we scored. AC Milan were dominating us, and we just couldn't get the ball. We were losing a lot of second passes and everything. It wasn't good. But after that, we dominated. Maybe that's to do with the injuries. I don't know. I'm going to just take it for what it is, because I thought even with the injuries, we were going to make it hard work. Yesterday was a game. Today's day off. Tomorrow training, and another day Saturday. Yep. And then it'll be a rest on Sunday. Training Monday. Probably travel out Tuesday, and a game on Wednesday. No, we play Tuesday. There ain't even a day off. It's mad. But yeah, we're into that period of the season. It is what it is. I'd say it's peak for the players, because it is peak for the players, but from a content perspective, I needed this after the last 3 weeks, so keep it fucking flowing. I couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. Guys, hit the like button, by the way, because we still ain't hit 100. We still ain't hit 100. Oh, shit, I missed the super chat. Go AM, my bad. You're saying rim job Sterling misses chances but assists, flirting. Timo Werner misses chances but assists her. How are you? I can't bite at this. I can't bite it. There is no way you are trying to tell me that Sterling and Werner are the same player. There is no way you're doing this. Sterling on the ball has more technical ability in his fucking pinky toe on his right foot. Not even his right foot, his left foot, than Timo Werner has on both feet. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. If Werner has a disaster class, because his touch is sending the ball out for a throw-in, his shot is going into Craven Cottage, his positioning would just be all over the fucking place. When Sterling has a bad game, he's getting an assist, he's drawing fouls, he's beating players. It is a completely different thing. Completely different. You're just saying that because I didn't slander Sterling for having a bad game, but I go after your idol every single game. But it is what it is, Goyen. It is what it is, bro. Big up yourself anyway. Also, Lewis, we won with less. We had less possession. Fucking hell. I thought with that second half we would have dominated. Italian press was mocking Graham Paul of a pot. They will do, because he's just inexperienced. But that's fine. He's not a big name and everything. He'll become a big name. That's cool. I'm fine. What else is everyone? Sorry, I'm about 5-6 minutes late on this. I'm just waffling about the game. Let me see what you guys are saying. Chalobah looked decent yesterday. Yeah, Chalobah looked great. Literally came in and there was no difference between him and Fofana's performance. Which, by the way, ends this Chalobah or Aspi debate, because it is done now. It's finished. Like, I like Aspi, but he can barely play a full 90. And God forbid he was the one that came on. Because if it's Aspi versus Rafael Liao, we are having a completely different game. Because Liao is cooking him. He is cooking him. If anything, he's overcooking his ass. So it is what it is. Like, Chalobah was brilliant. Just tracked Liao perfectly, never gave him an inch to deal with. Yeah, actually, no, tell a lie. Liao had like 1 or 2 good drives forward. But that's it. That's it. He was never going to be able to do too much. They were way too reliant on him. Everything was just pass to Liao and see what he can do. And Liao's good, but he's not like a Hazard where you can only rely on him and he will constantly be able to get you out of jail. He ain't there yet, but he's getting there. You can see the type of player that he's going to become. And for a player of that size, he's fucking so strong. And with that speed, by the way. Like, genuine physical specimen. I can exactly see why they were going for him. Windsurf says none of this Milan were crap nonsense. Some of you motherfuckers thought we would lose. You can hold that. This is the thing. I don't want to sit here and say Milan were terrible. I don't want to, because the first 15 minutes says a completely different thing. We didn't dominate them for 90 minutes. We played a lot better than I thought we would. Much better than I thought we would. But we can't say Milan were crap. Even if they were, we would have made this game hard. If this game was a few weeks ago, or if it was under Tuchel in the last few weeks, we would have made this game look like such hard work. So, I wouldn't say nothing like that anyway. What else is everyone saying? I need to refresh this comments. I said a tanned Timo with glutes equals. No wonder you rate Havertz. That is a terrible take, going. That is a terrible take. Oh my gosh. Lewis said we just getting started by James, a sign of great things to come for our club. I think it's just a positive atmosphere right now, which has been ages since we've seen it at Chelsea. I'm not saying too much because, bro, it is going to be a completely different game against Wolves. Until we can break down low blocks consistently, don't jump to conclusions on anything, because that's been our issue for years. This game was open. You know we thrive in open games. So even in spite of the expected performance like that, I can understand where it came from and how we got to that point. Once we start doing this against low blocks, cool. That's where I'm ready. Trapmash says, Ubba flipping the Harding, #free troops. Big up troops every time. But yeah, your boy is a lot better than I gave him credit for at Arsenal. It is what it is. It is what it is. 2 games, by the way, for Aubameyang without the mask and 2 goals. You see the difference when we have an actual number 9 at the top instead of a ballerina. You see the difference? And there was so much criticism for Aubameyang before the goal, by the way. I was hearing it in the stand. Fucking Aubameyang, your touch is shit. He's not done fucking anything this game. How about you give him a clear-cut chance and then we'll see. You see what happens. Feed Aubameyang and he will score. I will keep telling you that. Feed Aubameyang and he will take his chances. This is the difference between Aubameyang and everyone else that we put up top. I do not care if he ghosts. I do not care if he has 7 touches in a match. If he scores in the game, if he gets me GNA, I do not give a shit. So I don't want to hear about him ghosting 50 minutes into a game. Tell me after the game if he hasn't produced. And then we can have a discussion about it. Because if he hasn't produced, fine. If he has got GNA, don't give a fuck what else he does. I don't care. And even then, I thought his link-up play was all right. Nearly had an assist for Mason Mount, but he was offside. Should have got another goal as well. Sterling's end product really let him down yesterday. It really did. There was so many opportunities where he could have got assists or goals. He could have had about 3-4 goal involvements that day by himself. But that is Sterling for you. But on Aubameyang, yeah, you won't see him too much in games sometimes, other than odd little 1-2s. That is fine. Give me GNA and I don't give a shit. Right, what else is everyone saying? Oh, I've got to get to the Kante stuff too. Before I send the link out. Sterling Slander must end. He does spend too long on the ball, but he's still reliable even when he's poor. Exactly. I do not want to hear Sterling criticism from the same people who want to rep Havertz every week. That is just wild to me. Like, go away, I can't believe you, bro. You had the nerve to get at me for any time Havertz would get GNA, but you want to come at me for the first time Sterling plays poorly. That is awful, my guy. That is awful, bro. But we move. Anything else I missed? Liao got cooked yesterday. They just relied on him too much. Relied on him way too much, which made their game plan very easy to stop. Like, Winter Surfer said it perfectly on Sarcasm City. What was it? Packed out the right. We put Chalobah in there. We put James in there. We put Reuben on the right-hand side too. Couldn't do a thing. Couldn't do anything. And as soon as we cut Liao out, they couldn't do anything going forward. And the game just flew into our hands. Anything. Auba has more Champions League goals for Chelsea in one match in his whole career. Bro, he's been waiting to hear that music, man. He's been waiting. Can't believe it took him to come to Chelsea to play in the Champions League, but I'll take it. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. Because he's already scoring. Feed the 9 and the 9. That's it. That's all he has to do. That is all he has to do. And you see, that's the thing. I don't mind if he had a meh performance because he scored. That's all that matters. All that matters. Was the atmosphere... Here's the weird thing. All I heard on Twitter was that we were dog shit in terms of atmosphere, but I thought we were really good. I thought that was one of our best atmospheres of the season. Maybe there is some weird agenda where they just turn the mics down for Stamford Bridge or something. I don't know, but we get given a really bad rep for our atmosphere. There's some games where we're terrible, and I'll be the first one to say it, but I didn't think we were bad yesterday. I really didn't. When Jorginho don't play, Chelsea plays quick. As soon as Jorginho came on the pitch, the game became so slow to watch. But do you see why I keep saying as well, this is why I want Jorginho to be brought on to kill games off. Yes, the game became so slow to watch when Jorginho came on. We were, 2-3-0 up by that point? And that was his job. See the game out, slow it down, keep possession in Chelsea's court, and just see the game out. And he did that perfectly. I thought he won the most of his duels. Interceptions were really good. Won the ball back a good amount of times. I thought he was brilliant when he came on. And this is why I was saying, like, okay, have the question over whether Jorginho should start or not in your ideal Chelsea side. Fair enough. But if you think he doesn't have any asset to the squad and you don't think that he can't be brought on to kill games off, that is questionable to me because I think that's a very good role for him. What else? I said, but you stop being negative on all the... Well, if Chelsea play like this more, I'll be less negative. I'll give you that. If Chelsea keep playing like they do the last few weeks, I prefer not to speak. Let's say it with your chest. Auba is better than Jesus. Yeah, fuck it. I don't care. Auba's clear of Gabriel Judas. Fuck it. I'm here. Fuck it. We'll be positive. Anything else? Or just... Yeah, fuck it. Let's go into the Kante news where I send the link out to everybody. Because this was very weird to me. I didn't expect this. Who reported this? It's that French account. Yeah, GFFN. They said, N'Golo Kante believes that Chelsea have absolutely no intention of extending his contract, which is expiring in the summer. He wants to remain in Tottenham and has been offered to Arsenal and Tottenham. I don't believe that he would have been offered to Arsenal and Tottenham. I think that's a bit of waffle. I think they're just building off the fact that he wants to remain in London and they just want a way to bring them to those two names into it because it gets you more clicks. The contract situation, though, I find more believable because there has been a bit of a clash between the player and the club. But having absolutely no intention of extending his contract, that's surprising to me. I just thought it was more the terms that they didn't want to agree to because I was hearing Kante wants a 3+1 year deal and it's like, brother, you can't even play 3+1 games. Why would we give you a 3+1 deal? And that I could understand there being a clash between the players. I mean, between the club and the player. in terms of there being absolutely no intention, though, that surprises me. That really does. If he ends up leaving, like, it is what it is. If he goes to Arsenal, I wouldn't be as worried as a lot of people would be. Because I know that Bozo Arteta is just going to throw N'Golo Kante into the starting lineup every single game, and he's just going to aggravate his injuries, and he's going to come out a lot worse. Conte, he'd do the same damn thing. Conte is low-key the reason why N'Golo Kante is even this injury-prone, because he would just never drop him. The same thing with Sarri as well. Both of them did that. So I wouldn't be that worried if he went to either of the clubs. I don't want him to, because it just looks disgusting seeing him in an Arsenal shirt, personally. But we'll see. We'll see. I could imagine him wanting to stay in London still. I could imagine that. I could imagine that happening, because the same thing happened with Czech. When you're settled, you're settled. Same thing with Luis as well, and Willian. Like, they all wanted to stay in London. They didn't want to go to Arsenal because of the allure of a beautiful, perfect club like Arsenal. No, that's waffle. Czech wanted to stay in London. Willian and Luis had a restaurant in London. And I guess N'Golo Kante would be the same thing. It would be the exact same thing. But yeah, let me know what you guys' thoughts are. I know nobody wants N'Golo Kante to end up at those clubs, but what's you guys' thoughts on the contract situation and everything else? Was there any other points on Kante? Let me have a look. This literally just came out before I started the stream. Santiago saying Kante's been offered to Arsenal as well. I don't believe he's been just outright offered to them. I don't believe that shit. I believe he wants to stay in London, though. Maybe that's why he wanted a 3+1 year deal, but I don't know. I don't know. Would you guys stomach N'Golo Kante going to Arsenal or Spurs? Let me know what you guys are saying. Let me know what you guys are saying. I said stop spreading like... Bro, you're acting like I reported it. Like I put the article up. This ain't me, man. What are you talking about? What? In fact, let me share screen it, because now suddenly everyone thinks this is me talking about it. I keep saying I need to drop this disclaimer. I am not an in the know, people. I shit. Everything I report to you, I report from Twitter, or I report from some source. I don't know shit. But this is it. Kante believes that Chelsea have no intention of extending his contract. He wants to remain in London, and he has been offered to Arsenal or Tottenham. It's another one as well. Kante wants to stay in London, which limits his options to Arsenal and Spurs. That is worded much better, by the way, because I don't believe this offered to Arsenal or Spurs waffle. Chelsea wouldn't do that. Like, if you're telling me his options are limited to them two, now you're making more sense to me, because you're not chatting shit. But I don't believe we offered anything. But low-key, I mean, if he did want to stay in London, I could see him going to Arsenal or Tottenham. Even though I'd hate to see it, I could see it. I could see it. Well, what is everyone saying? Kante the same can kill games off. Yeah, I agree as well. Completely agree. But I don't believe he'd slow down possession like Jorginho would. What else is everyone saying? I said take a train to Paris. They'll love it. I would rather he go to Paris. I would much rather he went to Paris. Lewis, he's on two. I thought this would be an issue, but like from everything we've heard of the Kante contract situation, it's more with the contract length that they're disputing. I don't know if the wages are a clashing point right now. All I've heard is the years. I've heard he wants 3+1 years. Chelsea want to give him 2+1 or something like that, and that's where they're clashing. But this Arsenal Spurs stuff completely came out of left field. I said Kante for Ivan Toney. Yo, I'd do that yesterday. I would do that yesterday. That would be brilliant. Kante is finished, guy. I wouldn't say he's finished. Like, I still think he'd be a good rotation option for us. I will keep saying that. But he's not a starter anymore, because he just can't play consistently. And if you start him consistently, he's just going to get injured. And even then, like whenever he gets injured, he has to recover. He has a recovery time whenever he gets back to fitness too, and he has to get back to sharpness. It's the same thing as Kovacic. Same thing. So Kante and Havertz could be leaving soon. Yep, and Jorginho, and potentially Pulisic and Ziyech. There's still a lot of players that could be leaving. Don't speak for me, Lewis. I want Kante to leave and join Arsenal or Tottenham. Of course you do. Of course you do. Man says I'd sell Mount to Arsenal. Only after you go first, bro. Only after you go first. This guy's too valuable to lose on a free. But we have to re-sign him. And he wants 3+1, apparently. And I wouldn't re-sign him for that. I'd rather let him go for free. Because that would be stupid. This 3-year deal on Asby has already fucked us in the arse. We ain't doing it again. You're spreading the message of the brown envelopes. What's just the brown envelopes, man? Let's not do this Johnny stuff. Like, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I report on news that I read. Also, because people see these random rumors out of nowhere and they haven't heard about it, they're going to click on my video. I'm not going to tell you he's going to Spurs or Arsenal, but I'm going to tell you about the topic and I'm going to tell you my thoughts on it. It's as simple as that. Like, I'm not spreading no message. I'm not saying Kante is going to Arsenal. He isn't proper Chelsea. He is a rat. He has ratted us out. No. I'm saying he could end up there. Because he could. And whether you believe he would or not, there is a chance. Whether you believe it could happen or not, there is a chance. I said Lewis low-key brown envelope. Prefer really not to speak. I prefer really not to speak. It is what it is. It is what it is. If I hear Kepa prop stream off, well, you better switch it off in a few minutes. I'm about to send the link out. Frost Smith says, can a bummer blood clot Yang make it 3-3? Maybe. I won't say anything because it's low block FC next. And they also have a new manager, so you might expect a bit of a bounce. But maybe. All depends on how we service him. Hindsight 2020, but look how Madrid bin Casemiro. Look at the fact that we didn't even fucking go for him. Like, that's stupidness from us. The Casemiro literally right fucking there. Only United went in for him, and we were just there like this. What's you guys' thoughts on Declan Rice? Should we go for Rice? Stupidness. Fucking stupidness. Yes, Lewis is a HDKS. He don't know shit. Big facts. Big facts. Anything else? Fuck it. Let's send the link out. Let's send the link out, people. While I'm doing this, as always, hit that like button. Hit the fucking like button. And yeah, let's get into it. Oh, Winter Server. I didn't forget, bro. I did not forget. I just seen your message. Bear with me, guys. This is just the fucking awkward part of the stream where nobody says anything. But give me a minute. Give me a minute. We'll be done. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everyone. All right, cool. Right, who's in here? 96 likes, guys. Get me to 100. Fucking hell. Everyone should be in a good mood today, at least. Yes, people. Well, what's everyone saying? What's everyone saying?
Not bad, bro.
Well,
I will say, by
everyone's
the way,
saying?
Daniel,
Everyone's
don't go
saying,
anywhere.
why are you offering Kante to Arsenal? That's what everyone is saying.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Explain.
guys. Sorry, guys.
I was just going to say,
It's my
I was just
fault.
going to say,
My
Daniel,
fault.
don't go anywhere. As long as I'm on this stream, there will be no Kepa prop. Don't you worry about that.
Ha! Ha!
Where's Matt?
Yeah,
I'm sure
I'm
Matt
waiting.
I
was
don't,
looking
I don't
forward
want
to
to
it.
hear
I'll be
about
here in
plastic
like a
wrists.
minute or two. There's
Bro,
no
I
way.
don't want to hear about plastic wrists after yesterday. He had one thing to do, and he pushed a simple save into an opposition player's path.
What,
Luckily,
the Kettler shot?
Yeah, the Decathlon shot.
It wasn't
Straight
a
into
simple
Krunic.
save.
It was a terrible save.
It wasn't. That's
I
the only
thought-
thing
Did
he
you save
did, but
it?
it wasn't.
If you have saved that,
He pushed it into Krunic's path. We're just lucky Krunic smashed over the bar.
Hey, he's here. He's here, man. Of course he's fun.
No,
they got that. Look at the picture.
What are you guys waffling about?
On a
What is
positive note, like,
this?
It's just some stretching.
You Homo sapien.
What are you guys waffling about now, Lewis? You said that his kicks were bad. They were fantastic. They keep pressuring the
His
opponent's
kicks
half.
were crap. Other than that, I didn't think he did anything.
No, I
wrong.
think his
no,
kicks are informed.
No,
His kicks are informed.
Kepa, like one of the biggest myths in Chelsea Football Club is Kepa's ball playing ability. One of the
No,
biggest
but
myths.
Scott, the thing is, it's
His ball playing
informed.
ability.
He
No, it's
finds
just one of the
opponent
biggest.
and the opponent's half
One of the
pressure
biggest
in the
myths.
half.
On a more positive note, he was one of like only two players that I actually thought were like not impressive yesterday. Apart from that, it was a very, very good performance. I don't even know like where to start, to be honest. There was like so much good. You got Reece James, you got like the midfield, you got other places. I want to start with the manager though. Like the way that he like tactically coached that game and set us out in different moments was perfect. From the start, where you start with Mount and Sterling in like on the right and left respectively, and you swatch them, which at the time I didn't think was a good plan, but I completely understand why I did it later on, because you could see Liao had no intention of tracking back, and it just meant we could double up on that on their left hand side, our right hand side, all the time against Ballo-Touré. Then when they went to 3-4-3, and Matt Dust, someone pointed this out on Twitter. Actually, I didn't notice it until I went back and watched the game. We went to a 4 in midfield diamond, and it meant we had a complete overload in midfield all the time. It meant Jorginho got time on the ball to slow the game down, and then and then I thought the subs made sense. Like, I genuinely, from a like perspective of looking at the manager, I thought he coached that tactically brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly, and I thought it was a brilliant performance from most involved.
Tactics.
Yeah, I agree. I think.
Yeah, we are beating them regardless, man. This is Milan thing.
I was gonna say,
Well, I
in addition
think
of
Milan
everything you
played
said, Scott, I think Milan was so bad as well.
Game was good.
That's
I
what
don't,
Yeah.
I
agree.
don't think they were horrible. I don't think they were absolutely horrible.
No, okay, no.
I
Here,
get Milan were poor, but it's like again,
Do
we
you-
would have made this game look so much harder if it was a few weeks
Yeah.
ago.
No,
yeah.
So it's
They-
like,
they
I
could've-
got to praise them regardless.
No, yeah, my
Yeah.
my take is I don't think, because obviously everyone knows about the injury issues. I think even if they had all of their players, I still think we would have won the game, but it wouldn't have looked as easy as it did. I felt that especially with the fullbacks, their fullbacks were just they were non-existent. They didn't provide any cover. That Kalulu brother as well is cataclysmic. He's abysmal. I don't know why Milan still play him. Like but had they had all of their players, it wouldn't have looked as easy as it did. But nonetheless, we did do the job we needed to do.
I mean, you also got to factor. I don't want to be doom and gloom because it was great to watch. We haven't won 3-0 for a while, but they could have easily had a couple goals from real bad moments. They missed real easy chances. That scoreline could have looked a lot worse, and they played so badly. So I'm a little bit worried about little things.
But Declare, how's that work when they only had 0 shot on target until like the 80th minute?
I'm saying that's
We
concerning.
allowed
They still got
allowed
those
to-
opportunities. You
Didn't
know
they
what I
have
mean?
one just before half time?
They didn't do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah,
We allowed
exactly.
them.
Yeah, Kepa did well. That doesn't mean that shot was missed, but it's
He's the
you
only
can't
one.
say
He's the
it's
only
not the only one. There's a couple of times Liao run through the middle, through the wing where he put James and what's his name in the split
Once.
between them.
Chalaba.
I have a completely different view from everybody else apparently. So
Well, they had
be
only one
quiet,
shot on
so-
target.
I thought we allowed them. We allowed
So
them
listen,
to have the ball
that's-
in the first 15 minutes.
Yes, this is
Oh,
true.
you know, like
During the
I
game.
think
This
I
is true.
I think everything up until we scored, I think we were terrible. But once we scored, I thought we were completely in control.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, that's true.
Like
We
that
took
first,
a
like
while
what,
to get
20
into
minutes,
it,
25
yeah.
minutes, I thought was poor. Everything after, I thought we were brilliant. Played them off the park. The thing is, we allowed them to have more possession because they did nothing with it. Like, I didn't understand it at all. Like, they made no attempt to attack us. They were really poor, but it was almost like we allowed them because we knew we could
like a
kill
Tuchel
them.
team.
Like on the counter, like in certain transition modes, we knew we could
I
beat them.
feel like Liao was their
AC
only
Milan
Most
looked
of
like a Tuchel
Most
team.
of the position just came
AC
back
Milan,
from passing back.
Wait, what?
AC Milan looked like a Tuchel team. They had all the ball passing around.
Shut up, man.
Why are you ripping Tuchel, bruv? Leave him alone.
Nah, that's true. That's true. Nah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
By the way, I have a completely different opinion apparently from everybody else. But
Typical.
What's your opinion?
What's your thoughts?
no, nothing. What's his name? Dick Dildo Excel has typical things. So let him talk.
Oh, fuck's sake. Right, Cameron says, would like the panel's thoughts. We had great intensity and great cohesion yesterday, in my opinion. But let's be real, that game was way too open to not play good. Those are just more the sorts of games that we thrive in. Like, low blocks are an issue. That's why I'm saying I'm more worried about Saturday in general. I don't want to jump to conclusions on it.
I agree. I do want to say as well, like I do
unorganised
agree with
as
what
well.
Cameron says, and what the thing I want to big up about that, and I saw this again from most players, and including one player I would not have expected it from, and I thought he had a good game, was our link-up play, especially after we scored, I thought was really good. The little 1-2s we were doing, and again, I thought Mount had a good game, and I thought I was impressed with that. His little 1-2s, maybe not so with Chilwell, because I thought Chilwell was the other player I didn't think had a great game. I thought his passing was poor. Apart from that, like his link-up play with Aubameyang, Sterling, even in the midfield, I thought the 1-2 we were doing, like especially once we started to open them up, was brilliant. I thought that was the main thing I noticed. I'm seeing a couple of patterns in play that Potter's starting to do. Like, I think you can see the basis are there. You can still see the building blocks of like how he's trying to get us to play in terms of with our link-up play, and I thought that was brilliant. Like, genuinely, in terms of our link-up play, I was very, very impressed, especially like I said with the likes of Mount, Kovacic, Reuben, James, etc.
Reuben, yeah,
Aubameyang,
he was quite good.
Aubameyang and Sterling, nearly.
But this is a game we're playing
That's not the
on the front foot. Do you know what I mean? And they were unorganised. Like, even if Milan wanted to keep it tight, it looks like they couldn't even do that.
But I'll be honest,
loads of
I
chances.
think that's where like Mount is gonna flourish in this team with just like the help. He did say at Tottenham as well with just like the link up, like being the extra man in midfield and doing all of that. I think he does that really well. But anywhere close to the opposition's box, he's just an ice.
But do you only see it when only when we're 2-0 up? I see him come out of the shadow. I don't know if it's just me, but we're 2-0 up and I see him swing off.
The Mount thing is, I think someone pointing this out yesterday on a stream I was on last night. He didn't try anything flashy. It was simple stuff, but it worked really well. It was not trying anything flashy, apart from the goal he scored, which, apart from being offside, was really nice. There was nothing flashy. It was simple but effective, and it was nice to see. There was none of this, like, smashing it from 20 yards, just trying to hit something, or whipping across in it, like, 100 miles an hour. No, it was nice and simple. Like, it was really nice and simple, and it was nice to see. And hopefully I see more. I want to see more of that.
I think he was humbled by that Gallagher performance, maybe.
I was...
actually change.
Hopefully,
I want to remember this conversation when we play Wolves. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
because
I feel the same.
It's for me, the score does not show the game. Does that make sense? Like, the score is not.
You're right. We should have been further ahead.
Let him finish.
That's one. Yes, I'm gonna be negative because. Well, fuck it. I don't. It's not because of that. It's because I wasn't impressed. Because I wasn't impressed.
But
I wasn't impressed with the game. I was impressed with actual adjustments that manager did it in second half, which was actually impressive. And I give Harry Potter a big prop for it because he did tight things that he actually did. Actually, I don't think it was the changes in halftime. It was the one when the injury came out with Fofana. He pulled up what's his name? Chalobah. Way before Chalobah came in second half. I'm talking about
No. Chalobah replaced Fofana
first.
In the 40th minute, something like that.
Yeah, that's the conversation with him. But it wasn't the Chalobah that he was talking to. He brought 3 players and he talked to them. I forgot who it was. I think it was
Sterling, Aubameyang.
Sterling, Aubameyang, and I want to say Mount.
Havertz.
No, it was Mount. They were talking.
Are you just saying shit just to say shit?
No, I'm telling you the names. I'm trying to help you with the names.
If it was the first half, why Havertz was doing there?
No, it was the second half because you said when he brought those 3 guys. I'm trying to give you the names of the 3 guys he brought on. If you want the if you don't, then
that's not. I didn't say he brought 3 players in. I said when he brought the players to talk to.
This isn't important. This isn't important.
Calm down.
He just brought the players in general in the first half from the field. When there was an injury going on, he was talking to the players with 3 players that on the field, not the substitution. The players.
Okay, fair enough.
I think it was. You see what I'm saying? I think it was. I think it was those 2 strikers. I think it was 3 players because the reason why I'm saying it was negative because. First of all, Scott, you said one thing, and I think this is where it comes to. You said you weren't impressed until the first goal, but that's it. That's it. If before that goal, we are not as good. Like I think Milan was thinking, like if we are in it tight, we have a chance. The minute that goal went, it's it. It was open. All of a sudden, Kovacic stopped playing better. All of a sudden, what's his name? Reuben Loftus-Cheek.
How many times have we seen though that we do that? We take the lead and then we take our foot off the gas and then let the team come back.
Oh, that's the player that invites the pressure. He wasn't on the field.
Oh my days.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, I can't believe what I'm hearing. We could have won that game genuinely 6-0 if people took their chances. I'm hearing that they weren't impressed. This is coming from someone, by the way, that people want to take the piss out of and moan at for being negative. And I cannot believe I'm hearing this. We could have won 6-0. No one would have
Hold up. We've had this conversation before. We've had this conversation before. And it brings back last time we were trying to tactically analyze a game and everyone was shitting on whoever was negative. Right? And I'm going to bring up the same point I brought up last time. We all brought up. If you don't analyze this game and see our faults, they're going to appear in the next game. And everyone's going to be so gassed up. That we're so we're so good now.
Thanks,
right after
Thank
this
you,
game.
Thanks.
You're one of them as well because you quickly forget.
We're supposed to win.
I'll tell you now. This game was worse than an EPL game, right? They were playing. The Wolves are going to play way better than them.
That's what I'm trying to say.
How do we know that? Hang on. How do we know that?
Bro, Loftus-Cheek was bullying everyone, right? No. They were so bad. That's how bad they were. I was.
But that's why Cheek for you. He has one game.
I was not. I'm not gassed. I'm happy, but I'm not gassed.
How can you tell me the Wolves are going to play better than this? They are 17th, 18th. They don't have a fucking manager at the minute.
They sacked their manager.
Wait. I'm going to be typical me and just sit on the fence with this one because I hear both of your points that we played really well. It was a convincing performance, but we're not going to face a tougher team in Wolves. We're going to have a different team in terms of the way they set up and the way that they play. And I am more concerned about how we play against low blocks as opposed to how we play against an open opposition.
Lewis, what I'm trying to say, and please let me finish my point. I'm trying to say I'm looking for the game before we scored the goal. I want to finish my point, what I originally tried to bring. I was looking for the game before the 1-0. Do you understand that? That's what I'm trying to see. And I wasn't impressed. It was later became better because the game was more open. It fit us.
Yeah, so but we know,
I'm happy the way we played after that. The problem I'm saying, that not the whole game we were sustainable. That's what I was trying to say. So that's before the first goal was in, can you fucking let me talk?
I mean, it's what he said. You're just repeating him.
Now let him land.
Let him land.
The whole thing on the left side was shambolic. Even it did not improve. The only player improved in that left side was actually Koulibaly in Kova. Sterling did not improve for the whole freaking game. I mean, he was.
Sterling wasn't on the left.
Sterling improved.
No. What? No, I'm saying when before the scoring goal it was Koulibaly and what's his name?
We switched Mount and Sterling before we scored.
It was Mount, Chilwell, and Koulibaly.
And
Yes,
Koulibaly.
it was Mount, Chilwell, and Koulibaly. It was in the first before the score. It was symbolic. They couldn't keep the ball on the left side. Everything had to go for Reece James. I'm saying like. Fuck it. Like, you'll see it later. You will see it.
Alex, you sounded more positive yesterday when you came on the football terrace, man.
Lewis,
No, but this is deja vu. We've done this before.
I'm not.
It's the same shit. We've always said this.
No, we can't criticize
No. The
after
thing is,
one
like,
win.
the point that the one coherent point he made was the fact that after we went 1-0 up, we looked a lot better, and that's literally what Scott said, and that's something I want to talk about.
Like, I'll happily admit, for 25 minutes we were dog shit. We were second best ever.
I'm gonna bring you in a little bit, bro.
As soon as we scored, it was completely flipped, and like. Yeah, we were shit, but for me, there was only 2 players on the entire pitch that did not perform, and for me, they're both backups in their position anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, it was Chilwell and Kepa for me were the only 2 people I was not impressed with. Everyone else I thought was great, including those that came on. They came on and did their job. I should bring this up because I put this in a group chat and I was surprised. I saw Conor Gallagher do a La Croqueta. Sorry, what stones does this man have to hit a La Croqueta?
Bro, let me bring you back in a second.
Cool.
But I like, since I want to move on from this nonsense to talk about the one shining positive, big shining positive of this team, and that's that we have arguably not the best right back, for me, arguably the best fullback in the world right now.
I think right back too, actually.
Oh no!
I'm going to say that there was a lot of positive Scots. I think
he is the best right back. For me, he might even be the best all-round fullback. Take left backs into it as well.
I just wanted to sum up that AC Milan's real bad performance kind of hid away a lot of the stuff, and we looked a lot better. Maybe let's see it repeat, see it again, see it after 3 games, and let's get gassed up in the same way. Like I said, that's probably what I'm pointing out.
I don't think there's much to be gassed up about.
I think
everyone's gassed up so much that we say any negative thing that people are upset.
No one's gassed up.
Actually,
I'm gassed up.
I mean,
how much was Liao valued?
I'm just glad we played well.
We won 3-0.
85 or was it over 100 mil? That guy's not a 100 mil player.
No, I think Liao
yesterday.
Liao's a good player.
If you've watched AC Milan play this season, like he typically has Hernandez up there backing him up, and obviously since he's not there, it was just Liao and his ones, and even still,
he had no players there.
Yeah, he had no help, and even still, he managed to put to drive through that. Obviously, it was only one time, but that one time, it was obviously like for one player to do that.
It just didn't come to anything. Like he looks a good player. Like he's just surrounded by
He's an unreal region, man. The power.
Lewis, I got a question for you. Whose dog died?
I don't know.
Because it looks like it sounds like everybody's at a funeral. We win 3-0. We go second in our group, and everybody.
I don't think everyone's like that right now.
It's speaking like
except
he
the
plays like shit.
Kepa.
Well, Kepa, he had the good save. He played well. His distribution is 10 times what Mendy is, and he's going to continue to start.
The distribution was
one thing about
everything
Kepa.
else is fine.
Is it me or we go long more? We're not building short anymore. We play more. I don't know. Maybe it's just me trying to find something that's different to what we're on the Tuchel. We're playing more direct.
You see what he does to the players? He can talk. He's vocal.
Scott, he did well. Kepa did well.
No,
really
all he
well
does is kick it long. He just kicks it long. This ball playing ability, he kicks it long. He just hoofs it long. Which is fair enough.
At the time, there was like 9 people talking.
When I say that's not a detriment. That's not a bad thing. But people need to stop. People need to stop confusing hoofing it with quality ball playing ability.
That's the problem. That's the problem, Scott. If only Mendy knew when to hoof the ball, we wouldn't be talking.
Yeah, he needs to hoof it more, but let's not pretend like Kepa has some amazing ball playing ability because he doesn't.
I have a question if Mendy gonna go down that quick on that shot. I have a question if Mendy could have go down that quick on that shot.
He can't
because Mendy is the big guy.
Kepa,
tight spaces, Mendy does it for the big person. Go down that quick, it's not easy. But it's a different way you can actually see the Mendy is better than Kepa.
Mendy would have saved that as well.
No,
you can't say that because he's not there.
He's not there.
Bro,
He's not there. But we know Mendy wouldn't get the same distribution.
Obviously, what's it called? There's no way we can test it out a lot of thing, but I'm pretty sure we'd all have.
Okay, that's your pretty sure.
We'd all have.
That's your opinion, though.
That's good. That's your
opinion.
Okay,
what?
But we know Mendy can't kick a ball like that.
All of you think? No, hold on. All of you think Mendy would have conceded that, except Matt. I don't care what Matt say.
Mendy would have conceded, bro.
All of you think Mendy would have conceded that?
I don't know.
This is the last game to do a Mendy Kepa argument.
Listen, guys.
I wasn't even trying.
I feel like it's every stream.
Why are we talking about Kepa?
I'm asking the question. What do you think? Do you think Mendy would have conceded that as well? That's what I'm
I
asking.
think you're playing better because we have a goalkeeper.
Oh my days! Like, why are we talking then?
Hey, if there's
you guys are trying to
nobody's holding you. Say bye bye.
You guys are trying to find flaws in Kepa for no reason.
Listen, if there's anything we know about Mendy, we all expect Mendy to save, like, he hasn't stuffed up one of those. But when it comes to hoofing, I mean, Kepa is hitting those long balls in certain areas where they're meant to be. He's hitting people. They're not just anywhere. So it's still ball playing. It's still those kicks.
He's keeping possession in the opponent's half.
Right, let me go through a few of these super chats. President Jafar says I have to eat my words. Kepa got a clean sheet.
You have to munch on that, man.
Did play well. Rigo Park says we need the professional and dominating performance like this. Hopefully this win gives us momentum going forward. The Fofana injury is concerning. I'm a bit worried about Fofana, but literally that second point that's the main thing I'm taking out of this game. Momentum and confidence going into the next game. That's as far as I want to go with it. Goyen says Kepa arse versus African De Gea. Would you rather drive a car without an engine or a car without tires? This is why I don't get the debate right now. Like, both of them aren't really great in terms of having been good with their distribution right now. And both are mistakes. But Kepa's been playing well the last few games. Deserves to keep his spot.
How is that
car without the engine still moves?
Only if we're going
down. The elephant in the room. The elephant in the room, yeah. J5 needs to become a benched player. He's better, like you said.
Yeah, he's only good when we're winning. Like when we're winning.
That should be his tactics to come in and slow the game down. That's what we need.
I said that 2 weeks ago.
One at a time, please.
That's what
2 weeks ago. That the way you play Jorginho is you get up, put him on the field, and let him slow everything down and control the ball. But you have to be leading first by at least 2 goals. And then put him on the pitch and let him maintain possession. That's how you use him. You don't start him there and think that he's going to be the guy at this point in his career that's going to drive us to a brilliant performance. It's not going to happen. He is good at keeping possession. You got to have goals to keep possession and not have to do anything with the ball.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
After he came in, was that more chances after he came in that we were about to consider before?
None. The same.
I didn't think we were ever going to concede in that game.
We conceded no chances afterwards because
he invites more pressure.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
But they made no attempt to attack us. They made no attempt to attack us. Once we were 3-0 up, they gave up. They took their only attacking outlet off. Their only attacking outlet went off at 70 minutes. Like, once Liao went off, their game was done. They made no attempt to attack us. They were happy to play with it in their own half. Like,
that was true. Like, they didn't want a goal difference because that goal difference is going to play a big part. If we draw the next game, that goal difference can play a massive part. This group is actually pretty close. So they made damage control.
You've got the most goal difference, right?
We've got the biggest goal difference, and that's the next 2 goals. That's the next factor after
Milan next week.
Milan's a must-win then. Milan
I'm pretty sure we'll beat them next time as well.
We have confidence.
I don't know.
Too much.
We're only leading by 1.
I still think we'll win. I think
the only player that will be coming back in time potentially could be Simon Kjær. Anyone else, I don't think will be coming back. So not much will change. The only thing that could change maybe is tactics.
Apparently Hernandez might be back.
No,
he might be back this weekend.
Hernandez, I think he's still injured.
No,
the graphic they put up says he won't be back. Now he could be ahead of the graphic they put up. Who knows? I am not worried. They could be at full strength, and I still think we're favored to beat AC Milan. They are not that great. I watch Serie A week in, week out. The only team that's playing well, really, in Serie A is Napoli.
Napoli, yeah.
That's the one team you don't want to come across right now.
That's the thing I want to talk about. Like, it's funny for a league that's has a bestowed reputation of defensive elitism. It just the Serie A this season just has none of it. Like, just none at all. Like, I've watched so many games this season, and they all look so disorganized. Bar Napoli, I can't understand.
Udinese look good. I think English style, and English style is at the counter of Italian style. We played like a typical English team yesterday. We didn't hold the possession too much, gone direct. If you play like that, Serie A, you'll do well. That's why Udinese and Napoli are doing well in that league.
Yeah. We still need to talk about certain players on the field yesterday.
What?
I said we still need to we need to talk about certain players on the
We're not allowed to be negative.
We need to talk about the midfield and how the midfield were.
Yeah, why would you want to be negative?
There's a player that I want to talk about because I don't think people realise after the nonsense I've seen on social media after the last few days, people do not realise the importance of having a midfielder or having a player who, when you receive the ball in tight areas and a team is pressing you, to be able to, on the half turn, spray the ball out and just release that pressure. People do not understand how important it is to have a player like that in your team. And I thought, like, there was a few times, especially Kovacic did that amazingly. Like, after that yellow card, it was like, you could have maybe thought that he might have, like, maybe dropped a bit and it been a bit scrappy. But, like, the midfield, like Loftus-Cheek, I thought, again, started a bit shaky, just leveled up, just dominated the midfield. And I thought Kovacic was incredible as well, just relieving that pressure. Again, that having someone who can do that is so important in a team, because it means that a team then all of a sudden they have to be careful about who they press, because then they don't know if they're going to get beaten on a half turn or someone's going to beat that press, and then they get wary and then they drop off a couple people. Like, it's so important having someone like that in a team, and he was brilliant.
Reuben needs to play more quickly though. On the ball too much.
Were you guys shocked about the midfield, how we overran them yesterday? Because there was a lot of talks about before the match, Milan's midfield will kill us. Like, how many guys about?
They had what's it called? Obviously, the double pivot they play is like they're two quality players. But I think Sandro Tonali held his own. I think Benacer got absolutely raped. So I think that's it doesn't. I'm not surprised that we battered them in the midfield.
I hear that. Because
we didn't have Jorginho didn't start, so yeah, it's no surprise.
Yeah. J5 limits Kovacic's, like, how Kovacic plays. You know what I mean? Because J5, like, Kova knows if he's playing with J5, like, he has to receive the ball like closer. He has to do more running in a sense, if you know what I mean. Like with RC,
I wanted to talk about Starboy.
Who? Mount?
Yeah, Starboy.
Oh, here we go.
He was dead, honestly. He was dead.
Another game.
He was dead, bro.
Who cares? He was not dead. I'm sorry.
He's
this
so
is nonsense.
dead.
Just because, again, he
was the best goal.
If he did, it was just offside.
No, he was mid. He was mid.
Okay, hold on.
He was mid.
No.
I
think people are mischaracterizing Mount. I think as much as offensively, all season, I don't think he's shown anything. I think just as an overall midfield game, I think he was pretty good.
But he wasn't playing in the midfield.
He's so mid
he
that
dropped into the midfield.
He was playing as an attacking player.
I don't care. I don't care where he was placed on the one football app. I'm just saying, when he was in the midfield position, when he dropped into that position, he was pretty good. Linking up play, laying it off, doing all those things. He was good there. I don't care where he was placed.
I don't think he played an offensive. I think we played 3-5-2. He was the last person, that last player to get into the offensive position. So I think
he was actually 3-4-2-1, bro. What are you talking about?
Formations don't matter.
Bro, like Duroscope said, don't look at what the app said. Look at where they played on the field.
Exactly.
Yeah, Mount came in last into the box out of Aubameyang.
Yeah,
I think we played 3-5-2.
Even Reece James was up there before him.
Upper, yeah, that's
I have
cut back to him, and when the block was, well, he hit the guy. It wasn't the block. The guy did not know what, like, it hit him. Mount hit him with a shot. It was a good shot, but
well, what a good shot because he hit him with he hit a defender. A good shot goes on target.
It was a good block.
It was on target. The guy was in front of the target, though. Anyway, what I'm trying to say, like, if you want to see, like, here's what people actually think that I'm, like, I think I'm negative. I'm not negative. I'm concerned. If you want to see the discrepancies of people comments over here, let's put the rating on the individual player, and you will see. And that will start the shit.
Alex, what's your concern in the next game, for example? What concerns you? What you saw in this game that you think Wolves might explode?
Wolves has a better midfield.
Oh, take care, OG.
No,
take care, guys.
Neves is out. Neves is out.
Neves is out. They need yellow card accumulation, so they don't have a better midfield.
Oh, Neves
is out.
Yes, he
Neves,
is. Yeah,
Pedro Neto.
Their midfield is going to be
Collins
Nunes and Moutinho.
Colin is that as well.
Never mind.
Hey, do you guys think Costa starts against us?
Yeah, he will. He will.
I haven't checked Wolves' team news. I don't care that much, but I just think overall we should beat them. The only concern about that match would be the longer it's 0-0, the more problems it is for us. That's one thing I would say.
But that's
always that way.
No, because okay.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
No, because my point is, and especially with Chelsea, is for like we need to score very early for us to actually be in control. Whereas, like I feel like
wasn't it the same thing I was saying? Like you told me that what I was saying is the same thing as Scott saying.
No. Yes, exactly. And I said you were right. That's why I said you're saying the same thing Scott said. We like before.
And you saying exactly the same thing I said.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, some more intelligence.
I'm changing the dynamic because I'm talking about potential. You're talking about that game. I'm talking about potential concern for the next game. So it's different. I'm like for the next game. Like, and this is the problem we've had all season. Is the longer it's 0-0, the bigger the problem is for us. So I think if we get an early goal against
every team.
No, yes, I know, but well, not really. Not really.
What do you mean not really?
Because
some teams have an inevitability that they'll score. I think that's
what I'm
kind of
going to get to. That's what I was going to get to. Liverpool, Man City, with Haaland, like these.
Hey, I can't lie. Even Arsenal have that at the moment. As much as it pains me to say it, Arsenal kind of have that at the moment. There is almost an inevitability that they'll score.
And it's like I think certain teams are even struggling with that at the moment. It's like where if they're not scoring in like the first 5 minutes, they're just completely just done. And I think, especially with the way like I think some of our players are used to playing with like I don't want to say coasting, but a little bit more like a relaxed, not as high intense as like Liverpool, a little bit more like relaxed. I think they need a cushion to be relaxed. Once that cushion's gone, we're fucked, and that's why that's my only concern, I would say.
Lewis, I don't know if you've talked about this, and I know I heard people complaining about the first 20 minutes of the game, us being on the back foot. But I don't know if people realized or not. We did that on purpose. We played without the ball yesterday. We actually had less possession, and we looked better because we're not trying to dominate the ball every second of the match. And when you do that, and when you have more of the ball, well, when you come out of possession, you're more likely to give up a goal. But if you play without the ball, then they are in control, and you can counterattack on their mistakes. And so we weren't really pressing really high yesterday. We were sitting back, letting them play, allowing them to make mistakes, running them into traps, and then turning them over, and then going on the attack again. It's a different philosophy.
Attacking moves were when we were in transition. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Were we sitting back that game?
Yeah, we were.
We were sitting back that game. Is that what you thought?
At the beginning, the first one.
I mean, are you speaking for Milan or?
I thought Kovacic couldn't. I thought the reason why we're sitting in the back is because Kovacic in the first 20 minutes couldn't find the freaking pass. I thought Koulibaly is doing it like a freaking tackles that like, what the fuck are you doing on the field? I thought Chilwell, when he was going forward, run like Cho, go, and turns around to pass it back. When everybody is already up on the field, he passes back. And if you're losing possession, Koulibaly loses possession again, everybody running back. Yeah, that's the reason. It's a plan.
Chilwell's passing was so
well, then how about this? You find somebody else to watch, because apparently winning 3-0 is not good enough for you. we're gonna have to tear people down. Koulibaly
you wanted to tear Mount down, didn't you?
I'm actually glad, by the way, that Koulibaly brought up, because I wanted to speak on the centre backs next. Because like, take Silva out of it, because he is what he is, world class. We're gonna miss him so fucking much when he's gone. The two centre backs, like Chalobah and Koulibaly, I wanted to big up, because Koulibaly, as I said, started poorly. Like, he looked shaky. It looked like a Leeds performance again. But he stepped up, and like, there were times in the second half, especially like where he was very dominant in the back line. You know, he stopped everything that was coming down that left-hand side. Because as I said, don't think Chilwell was that good. Decent defensively, but I thought Koulibaly stopped a lot down that side. And Chalobah coming in for Fofana, coming into a Champions League game mid-game, it can't always be easy, especially when you've got someone who can get at you defensively. He did really well. And there was a couple of times where James got beaten by Liao and Chalobah was the one who stopped him. Like, I thought he genuinely came in, and I think
Scott, maybe you should not watch the game either, because you're negative. You criticize Koulibaly for his 20 minutes.
Dude, but you said we were playing like crap.
No, Alex.
Before we scored the goal.
Oh, I love petty Alex.
But dude, you're not going to play at FIFA levels every minute of every game. You're going to go through highs and lows in the game. It's called momentum shift.
We haven't had a high for a long time.
No. Hold on a second. This is why I'm like, when I said that the reason why I should be concerned that this team, I'm not, like I said, I'm happy that we won. The reason why I'm not over ecstatic, because we look shit for the first part of the game that we did not score.
By shit.
No, we were, but then
there's the passes.
We improved massively.
Yeah, we improved after the goal. But another thing, it's everybody over here saying AC Milan wasn't good in their league. AC Milan is shit in their league. Plus, this AC Milan that shit in their league, they did not have like a 5 of their starters. But I'm the one that negative, that we could not actually make a couple of passes against the team that shit in the league, and shit did not have that starting players that the best. So who's negative here, Jester? Me?
You.
Okay.
Do you honestly think the players that Milan today can make a difference?
No.
Really? Are they really that quality?
No. If we play that well against, if you see, this is what's funny. He said this is the shit AC Milan in their league. This is the AC Milan that does not have the best players on the pitch. We struggled before the first goal. And then when we scored, we opened them up. We improved. I agree. We played well after that. But we're not allowed to look at the problem that we could not do in the first half before we scored. Because look at this way. If there's any better team comes in, I want to see you talking then.
But
that's the only thing I wasn't saying that I'm not happy with the goal or I'm not happy with performance. I wasn't jumping on it, and I wasn't impressed with it. That's it.
The point that I'll back on Alex's side is that we have had a habit of starting games really slowly. So I do get bringing it up because it's another factor that's come up again. But keep in mind, we did win 3-0. That's still been.
You know what? I'll take
before the AC Milan game.
Wins all season.
Wait, before the AC Milan game,
our best performance. So
hey, were we negative before the AC Milan game? Can anyone say that?
What?
Wait, what?
Were we negative before the AC Milan game?
I thought it would have been a really tough game before.
I said we were gonna win.
I didn't know it was going to be tough because of the starters they were missing.
Look, a lot of the problems we've been seeing over the weeks is still there, and we're going to see them again. That's why I said don't get too excited. Let's build on it. If we can build on it, then I can say, yeah, they'll stop being negative after a run of games. But after one game like this against a Milan team, that wasn't.
The thing is, right, since he's come in,
everyone's accusing us of being negative.
In a lot of players, we're seeing a progression under Potter in certain things. Like I mentioned, the link-up play between everyone looks a lot cleaner now. It looks a lot better. There's less of people trying to do just stupid shit, either taking too long on the ball or just trying just the dumbest passes because it doesn't come off. And when we are trying those passes, it's trying them in the right areas. Like, we're seeing progress under Potter from players. And yeah, we didn't start off well, but it's how you then react to that. And we're lucky that we have one of, if not the best centre-back in the world at the moment, and we have other quality players around him to mitigate us starting slowly, especially in attack. And
sorry, Scott, go ahead.
I was going to say, yes, we started slowly, but we reacted to that. And the biggest thing is that, like I mentioned earlier, how many times have we seen we've scored a goal and then taken our foot off the gas, or we haven't then gone for the kill? And like I said earlier, we could have scored 6, and I don't think anyone could have complained and said that flattered us, because we had so many chances. Sterling missed a couple of chances. You had Mount's one that he scored that was offside. Mount had another one that was a poor pass from Aubameyang that he did well to end up turning into a good shot. Like, we could have scored 6, and you could not have complained and said that flattered us.
Of course not, but I saw what I think the main point I'm bringing up. I saw a really bad Milan team that didn't.
Something declared.
Yeah, sorry, Josh.
No, go ahead. You can go finish your thought.
Yeah, I just quickly wanted to say that Milan didn't punish our mistakes. They made it very easy for us too. It's not something other teams will do. That's why it's a good test.
Trying to say.
Yeah. So when you see the next game, it's not going to be as easy. And some of those issues we had in previous games were still there, and that's concerning. Even, I mean, you can't look at the result. I'm not looking at the result. I'm looking at the way we played. So I'm going into the next game, and I'm hopefully it's better than what it was, because it's not enough. That's the point I'm making. So people can get really hyped up. We're back or something, right?
Winning 3-0 is not enough.
Next games are going to be harder.
What, winning 3-0 is not enough for you, yeah?
Someone's
That's
like,
not what we
like,
say.
No, the
like,
performance wasn't enough.
This is akin to
Jay,
City.
listen to me. The performance
Winning
wasn't enough.
6-3 and complaining
Go ahead.
they get
Josh,
3
go
goals.
I would say
just before you go,
City did give up 3 goals.
I'm going to give it to Josh, but just let me go for a few of the super chats. Guyan says, with all that being said, Kepa should start next game. For the form that we are in at the moment, let's see how long before these players get tired. But I'm not even trying to think about that right now. I just want to see how we play on a game-by-game basis.
See, that was
Jojo
negative.
says, predicted we would bang 3. Let's be positive. We'll keep it on a positive level. We're going to try to, at least. Artem says, good win yesterday. Noticeable good performance from Loftus-Cheek and Aubameyang. Oba is way more involved in play than I expected. I thought Sterling wasn't as good as usual. His extra touches are getting frustrated. I get that, but I do think that's just going to come with Raheem Sterling. That's a frustrating side to him we're going to have to deal with. The difference is, when he plays badly, like in a game like that, he still keeps his play to an acceptable standard, and he's still got an assist at the end of it.
As long as the other players,
Sterling, I will take it.
As long as the other players raise up. For example, Sterling performance going down, Mount went up. What's his name? Aubameyang went up, and we still scored the goals. So if one goes down performance, the other raises the level up. So that's the good thing about it. Go ahead, Josh. Sorry.
Go, Josh.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess I'd have to ask, Lou, when you say started slow, I don't know necessarily. I mean, we scored at the 24th minute. We could have scored earlier than that. Thiago missed a free header earlier in the game. We were dominant in the set pieces. They had nothing to answer. They had no answer for us from a set piece perspective. I thought to me, we played with such the tempo of the game was incredible for us. Compared to what we've been watching, holy shit, the midfield, when Reuben got the ball, it was turn, one touch, find a pass. With Kovacic, I know he missed a few early passes, but I absolutely love the balls he was trying to pick out to Aubameyang early in the game. He played 2 beautiful balls over the top. That one was almost inch perfect, but just missed it, and one was a little over his head. But I love the fact that he's looking for those now. He's just never looking for those with his previous midfield partner. I thought obviously Koulibaly, the first 5 minutes, he was very anxious and excited to be back on the pitch. You could tell he made some insane tackles going in hard, but I love that too. I want a little aggression from my center backs. He was lucky to get out early without a card, which is fine, but he was fantastic the rest of the game. I thought Chilwell, same thing. Chilwell's still getting his match sharpness, but I loved the effort and work rate he was putting in. He broke up several plays on the left. Definitely could have been a little better going forward, but I'm not really going to complain too much. I thought he was solid. Mount, I didn't think Mount was great, but even though he wasn't great, he was still good, which just shows how well we played yesterday. Like I thought his work rate was really good. It didn't do enough in attack for me, but that's besides the point. I still thought he was solid. Aubameyang, incredible. It's so nice to have an actual number 9. He was all over that game. Sterling, I get all the frustration with Sterling, because there were a few times where you're yelling at the screen like shoot or pass or fuck, but I still thought he was very threatening on counterattacks yesterday. He was getting inside of the center backs pretty much all game. And then Reece James, absolutely phenomenal. Chalo came on, did what he always does when he comes on, which is just be solid. Again, I just still don't think we've lost a game where he's maybe definitely started, but to me, there's just not much to complain about. I thought just the tempo of the game alone, I thought is such a refreshing change of what we've been watching. It's disappointing to hear some of the takes this morning. I thought 3-0, we win.
Sorry, Josh. Sorry.
3 goals. No. Listen, that's what we do on here. But 3 goals is going to win you most games.
Everybody has their own view. So look, if you don't think I'm happy that we won, I do. I just not as ecstatic. I want to see better process. That's it. I'm concerned. How you say? I'm more. I don't want to jump the gun by goal. Yay! You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've been a little bit.
Yeah, they could certainly sharpen up offensively, but I think that will just come with the system, with more familiarity, more comfortability in the system. They need to get a little sharper. But I mean, for me, it was. I mean, when you look at other games, you could say like, oh, City scored 6 goals. Yeah, well, they leaked 3. So I mean, at the end of the day, they walked away with the same amount of goal difference we did in this game. It's just
I just don't think the game taught us anything new. I think that's just.
What do you want it to teach you?
I think it gave us I think it showed us our potential best 11. I mean, you got certainly maybe Cucurella it will end up being our best left wing back right now.
No, not left centre back. I'm not a fan of Koulibaly left centre back personally, but
he's going to play now with Fofana being hurt. So
yeah, but I guess then he'll be shifted to the right. So I think that maybe there
he can play. If we play back 4. What's his name? Cucurella can play.
He can play left centre back and left wing back. Obviously, I'm a fan of Cucurella over Chilwell, but I'm also a fan of Cucurella over Koulibaly. So, I personally don't care as far as he plays. That's just my personal take.
That's all I have for today, Lewis. I'm gonna go get ready for work.
No worries,
I'll get you
again. Take care,
Jester. I'll get you. What's his name? How you say opinion? I'll start to watch baseball from now on because it's a faster
baseball.
Yeah, because
you turned to watch another sport because you didn't like the game, isn't
it? Read a book. How about that? Read a book.
Yeah, damn right.
Right. Take care, Justin.
Later. I'll see you, Justin.
Big up. Let me go through a few more of these super chats. Cenac says, "Big up, Lewis. We're going to talk about Harry Potter's masterclass yesterday. Formation was on point and pressed all the right buttons in game. Yeah, and our game management continued to improve as the game progressed. As soon as we got a stranglehold in the game, we didn't let go, and it just kept getting tighter and tighter. Brilliant performance, not just from the manager, but from the squad as well. AV says, good win, but I still don't see any attacker that puts Chelsea in the top 4/semis/domestic cup wins. Until we get our Haaland /Kane, Salah, Benzema, we can't compete with the top teams. I'm guessing you're asking for a goal scorer, but 2 games without the mask for Aubameyang, 2 goals. It is still very early to say. I get it. My God. But give him a couple games and see if he continues to bang goals. So right now, we look like we're in a good position going forward. Obviously, things can change, but I wouldn't say that's where we need to put our focus on right now because Aubameyang's scoring goals. We can't really say too much.
I don't think he had the chance that he did missed it or something. The guy literally had the only chances he had. He put the ball either on target or in the goal. I don't understand anyway, but
I didn't get either. But I appreciate the donation anyway.
I think somebody's just a Haaland fan. That's all.
I don't blame him for that one. Artem says this is the first time we won back-to-back games since March, and it's the first time we won by 3 or more at home in the Premier League since November. Fucking hell, it's been long. CNAC also says, damn, I woke up to Chelsea fans over-analysing things. It was a good win. The style of play looks better, but of course, it's going to take time to look great. Yeah, we need to keep in mind as well, it is still the first few weeks under Graham Potter. So at the very least, like, we're getting back-to-back wins. We look to be building confidence. My biggest point that I want to see is how we can handle low block teams, but we'll see that on Saturday. Until then, like, we're in a confident position. And Daniel says, it's good to see beautiful football again. We was boring under Tuchel. Sorry, Tuchel fans, but it's true. We don't need to make this into a Tuchel v Potter thing. We don't have to do that. We could just be happy.
Preach it.
We could just be happy. But I appreciate the donation, Daniel. Thank you for that anyway. But yeah, what off the game quickly. What's you guys' thoughts on this whole Kante news that's just
I don't believe it.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I think he's absolute rubbish.
I don't believe he's been offered, but I could believe he wants to stay in London, regardless.
I believe it's rubbish.
I'm not talking about Kante until he's back on the pitch and playing under Potter, and then they can make up their mind.
Josh, I'll go one further than that. I'm not talking about this whole Kante contract thing till January. That's when it matters. If he's not signed a contract by January, then we can have a discussion about right now. It's the start of October. I couldn't care less.
Yeah, I just want to see him healthy playing under Potter for a month or so, and then we'll see how.
Did he even play for Potter?
Not yet.
No.
So how are people making up rumors that he's
he didn't even play a second under Potter? So
how do we know that?
Well, again, if you heard Potter,
the problem isn't the manager. The problem is contract negotiations with the club.
No, I know, but I think the point is that we give it a couple months, and he could be deserving of that 3+1. But right now, we're trying to debate on his contract when he's not played a game under Potter. He's also played 2 games this season. I personally don't think he should be getting a new contract.
Supposed to be approving everybody's extensions.
Yeah,
that's my point. Isn't it the Potter that's supposed to approve it?
He
did not play 1 minute, how he can approve it?
The thing is as well, he could also go to the World Cup, be the best player on the pitch, and France win it. If he does that, then he's probably deserving of a 3+1. We have no idea what's happening, and this is
right. And if you heard Potter speak about him the other day, he clearly rates him right up there with the best in the world as far as his position goes. And I think he's looking forward to having him back, obviously. He certainly improves our team. If you look at the team's record with him in the lineup and not in the lineup, it's drastically different. So I think until he's got some time under Potter and played where Potter wants to play him and had a run of games, and I'm not going to say anything about his contract. I'd personally love him to stay because I just love him as a person and player. But I'll wait to make judgment until I've seen him play under the manager. It doesn't make any sense to pontificate now. We just have no idea. He should hopefully be back this weekend.
I kind of feel as well, if this has been leaked from anywhere, it's probably from Kante's side, only to just push the negotiations a bit more, because if anything, the only clash was on years. I didn't hear any clashes in terms of wages or his responsibility in the squad. I think he just wants his long-term future to be guaranteed regardless of what happens. That's all I could really take from it. I don't think he's being offered to Arsenal or Spurs. I think that's a load of waffle. Do I think he wants to stay in London and would consider going to one of those 2 clubs? Probably. I've seen that happen before. But that's as far as it is for me.
A whole lovable Kante going to Spurs. Why? Oh, it's gonna hurt a lot of people.
Honestly, to be honest with you, I don't think he would do that. I don't think he's that.
He's too lovable,
obviously it's happened before, but it's more specifically with Arsenal. But I don't think he's that type of player. I just don't think he would do that. But it is what it is. I want to wait and see. I just want to wait and see what he looks like physically and from a game standpoint under Potter, and then I'll make a decision on if I prefer the club keep him. So far, I've had my eyes on George. I've got to watch Jorginho so far this season, and my opinion is I hope they do not keep him. So we'll see. We'll see if Kante does any better than that.
Will people be upset if Georgie goes to
Arsenal, right? No, but I will say this, and credit to George.
Half this fan base would just have an excuse to boo him. So,
and credit to George. I think yesterday is exactly the best way to utilize him, which is when you have a 3-0 lead, you can put him in at the end of a game to sort of like control the game a bit. That's probably where he's best deployed, late in the game as a sub. But we'll see what happens when Kante's back.
He looked good coming on as a new Mikel. I think that's the new role for him. When the game's won, come in and control
I've been saying that's the best way to use him.
It looked really, really good yesterday.
That's why I always said, that's why I always said to keep, like, even when we were linked with like Schumann or whoever, I said always keep him as the backup DM for games like that. You bring him in to both teach the guy who's ahead of him, who's probably going to be a younger guy, and then in games like that, you come on to play next to the guy that's taken over your spot and literally kill the game. Would you imagine if we'd had midfield yesterday of like Alvarez saying Jorginho, that game is dead. We're dead. They're not getting the ball.
Would you bring Georgie for 1-0?
Yes.
No, I don't know if I would.
In a game like yesterday, I would have done, because it was quite clear that it kind of depends on the other team. If the other team is pressing us and trying to actually get back into the game, then probably not. But if we're 1-0 up against a team like Milan, where yesterday, where like they made.
So you would bring Jorginho for 1-0 up.
Yes. For
yesterday, one moment from Liao, and he scores.
Alex, to your question, probably, but more in like the 87th minute, and less of like the 75th minute. Way later in the game.
Liao went off. Like as soon as Liao went off, they had no attacking. They had no outlet. Nothing.
Plus, the way the team was set up, Jorginho wouldn't be on Liao's side. That's what I praised Potter for. He packed the right hand side with Reece James, Fofana, then Chalobah, and then Reuben Loftus-Cheek.
They paid him. Yesterday was absolutely.
They paid him.
Why you have sexy voice?
He was so good,
man. I'm very ill, bro. I'm very ill. Hello, welcome to the midnight hour.
I was trying to figure out.
Is that Andrew? I didn't even recognize
my voice. I thought I got to praise Potter for, and that's a big compliment to Liao as well, that they shut him down on that right hand side. I know he had a couple of things, but he got hooked in the second half. He didn't do nothing in the second half. Milan are so left-sided as well.
Yeah,
I'm really surprised. I know people might disagree. I would have said, like, if I had Liao and I was not getting joined down our right hand side, I would have gone to the left. Just see how he did against Chilwell or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Like Zaha.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew, did you notice? Like, I think the big difference with like Liao, if he was at Chelsea, you see how deep he had to go to get the ball from Milan. He was basically on top of the left back.
The thing is, what I liked is he looked comfortable with that. Like, and that's like the thing is, for as much as we limited him, he still had moments where he looked really clean. Like, he's a big dude as well, and he looks.
I couldn't believe
the way he moves with the ball. He shouldn't be able to move that well with the ball with how tall he is and how cumbersome he looks. He somehow looks.
You could say that about our very on number 12, because
the way he got.
I know, yeah. The way they move with the ball, they shouldn't be able to move that way with the ball with how tall they are.
Can I ask?
It should look like how Lukaku does. It should look cumbersome, and it doesn't. It's clean.
Can I ask when let me gauge the response here. When you knew Fofana was going to be subbed, did any of you think, "Oh fuck, Aspie's coming on"?
Yes.
Even before Chalobah got
up until Chalobah actually.
In the back of your mind, did like 5% of you go?
I thought more likely is he'd go to a 4.
Yeah.
I thought that's what he would do. And then
I thought it was what's his name coming on, Cucurella.
Yeah, so did I. That's what I thought he was going to do.
I didn't think it was Jorginho.
I thought he was going to move Koulibaly to the right and put Cucurella on the left. But I think he saved Cucurella because he wasn't sure maybe if Chilwell could go a full 90, and so it was like, well, let me just.
I mean, no way he brought Chalobah on. It was just to keep that same balance on the right hand side.
Chalobah did great, actually.
He did fantastic, yeah, man. I got no problems with him.
Yeah. I see us going back to a 4 though at the weekend. I think we'll go back to a 4 again.
It depends on Cucurella, to be fair. I think. He starts. I think he'll start.
Maybe.
Well, you got to think too, like that. Also, then you have to think about left wing back maybe, because it's only on a 2 or 3 days rest. Do you throw Chilwell back out there at left wing back and start Cucurella on the left side?
No, I'd start Sterling. I'd go back to what we did in the game against Salzburg, because I think that's what Potter wants to do going forward. It's just through different pieces. Feel like Chilwell can't play as the left centre back. I don't think anyone else really can. Like, it doesn't really work. I think he wants to have Sterling on the left more often than not because of his ability to cut in and both create and score.
I think there'll be
what
heavy
Tuchel wants to
rotation
do.
against Wolves. I think though. I do think he'll make.
Potentially.
I think he'll make 3 or 4 changes maybe, just because it's on really a 2-day turnaround because the game's on Saturday. They probably had today maybe a light training today just to like get your legs moving a little bit, but I doubt they did much hard training
game or
today.
a home game? Wolves.
I think it's home, right?
Home, yeah.
Home they're talking about Costa returning, so I think it's home.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think you'll see some rotation. That's probably why you saw why Pulisic didn't play in that game, because he probably is looking to him to the weekend. Havertz will probably start at the weekend.
Damn.
You'd imagine Gallagher.
Gallagher. Maybe Gallagher starts where Mount played at the weekend. You'll probably see some rotation there. So maybe he goes to a 4 just because we lack maybe the extra center back, or maybe he says fuck it and throws Chalo out there and they run the 3 again. So
I'm worried about Costa triggering Koulibaly if Koulibaly is playing.
I'm not. Costa's not going to start.
Okay.
No, I'll be off the
What
bench.
about
I
the
think so,
forward? What about the forward? Is he fit?
Guedes. They'll start probably Guedes or Podence as their striker and bring Costa off.
Podence will probably maybe a false 9, if not.
Well, I'm saying we need a win after what happened last season at the Bridge.
Yeah, no question. We need 3 points in the league every week right now.
We need that. That momentum needs to build.
Yeah, I know. Did anyone? I was just like, did anyone? Who's the Milan? Is it De Kettering, the midfielder at Milan?
The number 9,
De Ketelare.
Ketelare. Did you see yesterday? When he tried to go shoulder to shoulder with Reuben, and he came off, and the camera got a great shot of him turning around. He's like,
did you see Mount going shoulder to shoulder and fell off?
Yeah, Mount was trying to up his physical rating on FIFA.
My God.
I thought
that
clip where they trolled him with his stats and he wasn't having it.
I'm surprised how long he plays Sterling. I'm concerned.
Yeah, I thought he would have came off.
I thought he needed to come off way earlier than that and bring somebody as long as
you said Sterling is a bit mentally drained a little bit. He needs a bit of rest.
You can see his I don't know.
I don't know if he's mentally fatigued or not. He looked bright. He looked bright to me most. That's the one thing I'll say about Sterling. Every game, he's a threat in some aspect of the game. He causes some sort of problem.
100%. That's the biggest thing for me since he's came in, and that's why I think he's head and shoulders above every other attacker. Apart from Aubameyang, even when he has games like he did yesterday, where apart from the assist, he wasn't too threatening in and around the box, but there is still that kind of element of him being threatening, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but even if he isn't physically threatening, mentally he has that threatening ability where Ziyech never had that really. Pulisic never had that. Mount doesn't have that.
I think it's this. His presence alone is a distraction for the
defenders. That's a better way of wording it. That's
presence
a much better
alone,
way of
no matter what he does in the game, you're always going to go. The defenders in the back of them, I go, okay, where's Sterling? Where's Sterling?
He was an absolute menace to Tonali yesterday. He took the ball right off his left.
He tried to run that.
He made their left back, bro. Their left back just never wants to see him again. To
me yesterday, he could have probably had a goal and 2 assists if he had his head up a couple times. He missed Aubameyang on a ball where he could have just one touch squared it to Aubameyang. And then he got inside Tomori. I think it might have been in the second half, and he went right by him. And I thought he had a chance to shoot, and he did those extra dribbles and I think he might have got a corner out of it. But he's always a threat.
If you're a Chelsea fan, after seeing what we've had to watch for the last 5 years, and you're complaining like Sterling's overrated or he's going to cost us in big games. Do you know what? I'm ill, so I'm not got time to be polite, but fuck you. Yeah. That's all I'm saying right now. Yeah.
That's
you know what I mean?
He shows the golfing class with every other attacker we have. Again,
Sterling played badly, and it didn't feel like we were down to 10 men.
But the thing is, you say that, Lewis. He didn't even play bad, and that's the thing. Is
he didn't play bad.
His bad games. His quote unquote bad games are like a 6 out of 10. That's his quote unquote bad game.
That's the thing. No, this by bad I mean in terms of compared to Sterling we've seen from the rest of this season. But this is the thing. we're even saying it wasn't a bad performance just from his standard. Like, it was a bit of a drop-off. But he's still beating players. He's still drawing fouls. Still got an assist at the end of the game.
Has an impact positively.
Yeah, no question.
Exactly.
No, I'm saying like if it's like how you say it, need to rest a little bit. Let them rest. We'll have players in that position that can take rest, or at least not to give him a rest like the whole game. Like I'm saying, give him a rest. Like bring somebody on, not an 80th minute when he was.
Give him an hour off, you know. Give him 60 minutes off. For
or like 30 minutes. Like take him off at 60th minute or something. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is that we got Wilson and Milan, quick turnaround, and then we've got 5 days between Villa, so they could give them a couple of days rest after the.
Who we got after Milan? Sorry.
We got Villa on.
I think that could be the game he gets rested.
Next Sunday.
Well, no, I'm just thinking they could give them a couple of days, all the squad, a couple of days rest after that. After that, anyway, come back in because it's a Sunday game, so come back in on we play on a Tuesday, come back in on a Thursday. You know what I mean? Light training.
That's the thing. I don't think he needs like the whole full game rest. I'm saying like just take him off early.
He's only 27. He'll be.
Like you don't.
I hear you. But
hasn't he played like most of all the City attackers? Did he play like most of the minutes? Like
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's been all the time.
Yeah,
he wasn't dropped.
He can last. Very least we know he can last.
No, I agree. You can get. He's earned a little bit of a rest, whether it's an early exit or a late entry. But he'll get those. He'll get those. Yeah, they're still trying to build a little chemistry right now too. So.
I mean, I guess he's. I guess Potter like kind of tried to figure out the 11, his best 11.
Yeah.
And see what the run is on the best 11, and maybe that's the.
Well, that's the thing too, Alex. We know for sure, like Sterling and Aubameyang are always going to be the 2 of the best 3, right? So they'll be all. It's important that those 2 guys sort of get a little bit of chemistry. Maybe that's why he's playing them so much.
Maybe he's trying to build the chemistry because.
No doubt. And we have to stop saying this. Thiago Silva will never be rested. This man is an animal. Don't worry about the rest game here, rest game there. He'll never be rested.
Look, if you have 2 good center backs beside him, it's easier to defend. You don't have to do all those things like.
It's harder to rest him now with the Fofana injury.
Did you see Maldini? Did you see him after the game with Maldini over there? Those guys must have been like, what an absolute animal.
Maldini was still playing. He got to AC Milan. Maldini was still there.
It was Maldini and who was the other guy? Who was the other center back? Who was it? Nesta. No, there was I feel like there was another center back there last night at the game with him that he played with at Milan with Maldini.
I will have a look.
There was a picture of them. There was a picture of the 3 of them talking after the game.
He was in their last championship winning team for last season. Thiago Silva was. He won their last title.
He was.
So,
yeah, he was part of the last title winning team.
But they must look at him and be like, what an absolute. What an absolute
I just wish he was 5 years. I'm not even asking for 10.
Yeah, I know. He's going. What's his name? Both of them played way farther than what's his name?
I think it helps. No offense, but I think it helps. Obviously,
how long? I don't think Nesta played that long, but Maldini definitely played longer than.
Yeah, but he conserved. Remember, he moved from left back to centre back, didn't he? So he conserved a lot of his energy in that. So.
And I'll be perfectly honest with you.
Wasn't.
Nesta was there. We're having a little look. Nesta was there at the same time.
Yeah, Nesta.
He did an interview with Nesta the day before. I saw. Let me see if I can find who it was. But
Baresi.
No, Baresi was years ago. Baresi was the guy who taught Maldini everything he knows.
Right, Lewis, let me ask your opinion. Yeah, yesterday, I had my good friend at the. He's a Milan fan. Yeah, he was at the bridge yesterday, and he kept on texting me saying, "You guys' atmosphere is very, very dull." You at the game yesterday? How was it? Was it?
I thought the atmosphere was good. I was really surprised to be hearing that everyone was saying we were crap. I thought we were loud.
As on TV, I can hear you. It wasn't Chelsea fans.
Yeah, AC Milan fans were unless they just had the mics turned up.
They were loud, but I thought the Chelsea end was loud too. Yeah, I really think they like lower.
If it was a
lower the
Seedorf,
mic settings
is that a black guy, big black guy?
They do. And they absolutely,
he's in
they
midfield.
absolutely do turn the mics down on the Chelsea section
They
on TV.
must do, because we've had this debate. I remember the FA Cup final against Leicester. Everyone said we were outsung for 90 minutes, and I was like, no, we weren't. I barely heard the Leicester fans until they scored. Always happens. Always.
Yeah, they absolutely do dial it back.
Every team's away support, even ours, are always the loudest at any ground. Sometimes they always are. Even our away support, they're the away support is always loudest. It's always happens.
I don't believe it. Fatura is the away supporter for Chelsea. I don't believe it.
And when he's not eating a pie, he's fine. He cheers all the time. It's all good. You know?
Did anybody see Fatura's interview? The way he's like looking like on Chelsea fan TV.
Bunning a Zubi.
No. Do you see how he's fucking at Lewin and at Milan fan first? And he's like, what are you moaning? Like he was so like looking down on those people. Man.
Hey, he hadn't had a pie in half an hour. Leave him alone, man.
Fuck you now. Artem says, how about Nkunku v Celtic yesterday? Didn't catch the game, but I heard he scored.
Apparently he was very good. I need to go back and watch it. Apparently
I saw the highlights.
He's very good.
I saw the highlights. The pass was the one that I was impressed with.
He was all over. He was all over that front. He played in nearly every position in that front three, even deeper a bit. He was all over that.
He could have passed it to Timo Werner at the one moment, but he chose that shit.
Did you see Timo Werner's back pass that injured the goalkeeper? He passed it across, and the goalkeeper.
I haven't seen that.
He had to come out so far
I
that
saw
he injured
him
himself kicking the ball. And he tried to do a back flick as well in his nearest 6-yard defending, and it nearly went to a Celtic player. And Kuku actually put him through, but of course he missed it. So
yeah. That's the pass.
I've tried. So like last night after our game, or about halfway through our game, I was just spending most of the rest of the game when it was getting dull trying to think of teams to fit Liao and Nkunku and Sterling all in the same team. Like it probably won't happen, but please, Todd.
I think it was Seedorf that was there with them last night.
Yeah, he's the midfielder. He's the goat. For me, he's the best midfielder.
I think he's the only player to win the Champions League with three. Only player to win the Champions League with 3 different teams.
Ajax, Real Madrid, Milan. Yep.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that's who it was actually. Now that I look at it.
Yeah, Seedorf. I think it's Seedorf. I think I saw him too at the game.
Very underrated in his football history. Seedorf, very underrated.
Who?
Seedorf by people.
Yeah, underrated.
Yeah, underrated. Like when you put him in lists, he sometimes
nobody ever mentions him, and that's what pisses me off.
Yeah, I know. It's like
for me, he's the GOAT. For me, he was the best midfielder. He could play in any position in that midfield.
And Nkunku, I think Nkunku will. Nkunku looked very good. Obviously, I don't care what you've done for Leipzig. I'm only going to care what you do for us going forward. But he looks good. I will say that Timo Werner looked good. But I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying all these players look good, and then they come to us.
Yeah, we could have a very scary attack next season.
I was going to say the biggest thing about Nkunku, and I feel the same way about Liao, and it's where I put him ahead of. One of the many ways I put him ahead of Werner is like his mentality thing of like he looks to be someone who is like he looks serious the way he plays. Like it's not just he scores goals. It's like it's the thing I think that like Haaland has above every other player. Like he has this feeling of I'm going to score no matter what you do.
What's beautiful with this Leipzig team? Anyone thinking that Nkunku and Werner are the same player, you can actually watch them play together and see that they're not. Yeah, so
not in any way.
That thing. Oh, he's just a Werner who can finish and create more. It's like, well, he's not Werner if he can finish and create more.
No, if they're able to get both of those guys next season, that is a absolutely terrifying.
Stick him up there with Sterling.
I was going to say, can you imagine? Because the way I'd imagine it, can you imagine like either a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3 with Liao as the more attacking 8 of Sterling on the right, or Aubameyang as the focal point up top, and Nkunku is the attacking 8/10, and Liao from the left.
Lukaku down the middle.
Yeah, that's cooking. That's cooking jollof rice. That's jollof rice right there.
And then if you can have someone like a Kovacic, if he can stay fit, and then a DM like a proper DM who can play as a 6 if need be in transition, like an Alvarez or someone similar, Sangare, whatever. Oh, that is beautiful.
And listen, this is all seriousness aside. I don't want this to happen, but if we're being honest, the way Potter plays, it does suit a Lukaku way more than Tuchel's system did, right? Can we say that at least?
Yeah. It's more direct.
I would need to see Lukaku come first.
No, I agree. I'm just saying for me, the way Potter plays, the way I've seen Aubameyang so far.
He stayed very central last night.
Yes, he's in positions to just finish goals.
Someone said it, innit? Not me. I don't want to listen. Don't jump on me. I'm not saying I don't want it to happen because the player's mentality to me is not good. But I'm saying, like, as a player, this system suits him way more.
If you look at everything on the football pitch as a player, it suits him. But in terms of everything else, the burn bridges, the mentality.
No.
Completely agree.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that because I think it's off the field that you don't see what Aubameyang does. He still runs. The problem with Lukaku, he does not do that. If he plays centrally, he just stays centrally.
Yeah.
Aubameyang goes to the left. Aubameyang goes to the right.
Lukaku does that. The Belgian does that a lot. Inter used to do that a lot.
In midfield,
how you can do that if Inter does not play possession game?
When the ball's in midfield, he makes the runs. When the ball's in the final third, his movement's dog shit. But when the ball was in midfield or in the mid or in the defensive third, he was always making runs and they were poor. And they were always ignored. Always.
It's not the movement over the all in the field, like outside the box, like in the box or around that little box that they have. Like that's the movement I'm looking for. Because
do you remember the run before the penalty against Villa last season?
That's a beautiful run. Even the run against Liverpool, the onside run, by the way. That's a beautiful run.
But you see how deep it was?
No question.
But I think
don't get me wrong, Aubameyang, he's way more my style of player. I love Aubameyang.
Aubameyang is actually better clinical finish than Lukaku.
No doubt.
With 2 feet, by the way. Auba can shoot with 2 feet.
Yeah, but
I completely agree. I just wanted to bring because there's been a lot. I've seen his name a bunch on the timeline about it's Paul Potter. I think absolutely the way we play now is more tailored to the way he likes to play, just as far as like finishing goals. But I'd much prefer.
I think he would have done better even with Tuchel's system. It's not because of the system; it's because his approach.
Yeah,
I don't actually see the much difference between Tuchel and Potter so far. There's a slight quickness.
The tempo is much different.
More direct.
But I don't see. Well, it's because one player literally been dropped. But what I'm saying is like he could suit Tuchel too. It's not that system because Tuchel played a few systems. It's the way he
did score on the Tuchel.
He
scored a banger against
mentally, he's a pussy. He is a
yes. That's my point.
And that's the biggest mentality. I will say this, and this is the thing I've wanted to bring up. This is the thing I've wanted to bring up as well. I'll say this is the thing I've wanted to bring up. It's just haven't been on streams to do this, and I will happily and proudly hold and present my L on this. Of Haaland was the better choice, and in terms of this is where he is levels better, because the thing is, like, if you watch him, I wouldn't say technically he's miles better than Lukaku, but the biggest thing is, as I mentioned earlier, his mentality is on a different planet. Like,
exactly,
you could have him versus 10 defenders, and he fully believes he's still going to score. He will fully believe, I will smash through every single one of you and score. Lukaku looks at those 10 players and goes, Lukaku looks at those 10 players. I say Lukaku looks at those 10 players and goes, oh, fuck, I can't do anything, or fuck, why don't you pass me the ball there? No, just smash through them. Literally,
Scott, you know how you can see that? Remember the first couple of games of, what's his name? The Terminator didn't score, and they're like, oh, he's going to flop at City. That it's not.
Oh, my God.
You see what I'm saying? That didn't change his mentality.
Yeah.
The guy is the Terminator. The only thing
I was going to say,
it's
Lukaku
freaking virus. The only way he can stop him.
We had Chelsea fans that compared him to a hybrid Werner.
Your normal average striker, like you said, loses confidence in that situation. They're like, they start to drop off. No, Haaland's just like, oh, fuck that. Like, he'll literally, he
He's got
can't
this
put it
fucking
for words.
mentality.
His mentality
I don't give
is
a
on
dash.
an elite level.
His determination is just,
seriously,
yeah.
when
He's on a
people
different
say that-
And it's
stratosphere.
not even. It's not arrogance either, or it's kind of a little bit of arrogance. It's the right kind
yeah,
of
you
arrogance.
have to. I think you have to
It's
be.
I
like
don't
ego in
think.
your source.
Sorry, I don't think Ronaldo, original Ronaldo, even close to those numbers at that young age. He's not even close. I don't actually tell him as a nine. As a nine, I'm not comparing them to the wingers like Messi and Ronaldo because that's a different.
Yeah,
but as the number 9, the
By the
numbers
way,
are just man.
Has anyone seen the Sky create, like put this graphic out that had based on what on his current scoring rate, what his goals would be across different competitions? Has anyone seen the amount of goals based on his current
145, 149 in the 100 games?
It was. Yeah, I was gonna say in this season, if he played every minute of every game, he'd have over 100 goals this season. That is fucking wild.
That's the like I said. Look, it gotta be asked. If City does not win the league, not the league, but
if they don't win the Champions League this year, then that's
a mental. That's a failure. I actually think they should win everything that's possible. And long as that guy does not get injured, I don't know what's happened. I'm telling you, I don't think he's coming.
I predict him to score 80 goals.
Stone cold killer up top.
I don't know what.
We are in the presence of something great.
They've got arguably.
Lakeep is just sorry to interrupt. Lakeep is saying allegedly 4 weeks out for Fofana, so that's a lot better than what
Yeah, I didn't think it was ACL. You do not come back on the field
and
try it again for 2 minutes. I knew it wasn't.
I swear you can still walk and play normally with those sorts of
But your son was jumping.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you can initially.
Yeah, like Van Dijk walked off and was jumping when he had it and everything.
If it's a partial tear, you can still like walk off the pitch and then come back.
I don't think. No.
Because Van Dijk had the same thing. He still walked. Like Van Dijk.
I've personally done it. I've done my ACL and kept playing until I try to balance, and then that's it. That's where you feel it. Because of the drill, like you got adrenaline, you got all the heat, everything. You don't really feel it till later. The next day when it swells up is when
had an ACL and
really feel it.
He played till half time for Arsenal. Chambers.
You take your medicine.
Till half time.
Yeah. So that's why I was kind of a little bit worried, and you couldn't tell at the time. So till they got scans, that you can't tell.
Well,
it's just like a sprain or
before the Man City or Arsenal games, though. So.
I think it'll be after the World Cup, more likely. I think he's not gonna be rushed after that. I think he's coming back after the World Cup. That'll do. Yeah, because he's not gonna go to the World Cup anyways. I don't think he'll make the French squad. So
he won't make the French squad anyway. I don't think personally because I think he's just a bit too.
By the way, do you know when the football? Sorry, Scott. Do you know when football's coming home? If you change Haaland citizenship and he comes to England.
Oh yeah.
That could have been a possibility. That could have been a possibility. That could have been a possibility.
He was born in England. He can.
If we'd have had a front two, of Kane and Haaland going into a World Cup. Could you just imagine?
No. The media was overhyped then.
Guys, I actually look.
I think you guys will still find a way to stuff it up.
Oh yeah, no, we would. 100%. 100%. We'd find a way to fuck it up.
Yeah, the media will overhype it.
We'd 100% find a way to fuck it up.
The media.
No. I think again that will bring the freaking mentality. You know when this is not to bring it up the past arguments of you, Scott, over the thing, but the guy had 17 touches and he still scored the hat trick. How? Like I don't think even Southgate can do stop him from scoring a goal if he's
goals. First 2 touches against United were goals.
I swear, man, I don't know what we're feeding that guy.
We are in the presence of something great.
He's the type of player, what's mad about him is he's the type of player where, because of the whole mentality thing, it doesn't matter what system you put around him. He could play in a possession style, counter-attacking, long ball, crosses, whatever. He's scoring. It does not matter what system he plays in. And I was wrong about him. I thought he would be more of a counter-attacking, more you'd have to make loads of chances.
Look. Remember, is anybody watching League of Their Own? Is anybody watching League of Their Own, that TV show on Sky? I love it. But anyway, it was a long time, and it was one of those questions what other players do before the game and which ones do. Like Rio did this. You know what Haaland does before the game? He sleeps with the ball, the last goal-scoring goal. Like he sleeps with those balls. Like he sleeps with the last ball that he scored the hat-trick. He sleeps with those balls in his bed. That's his ritual.
What a ritual!
His girlfriend dumped him because of it. That was the rumors that his girlfriend dumped him because he thinks too much of the football. Guy does not go out. He doesn't go to the bars. He walks like a streets. The guy does live, breathe. He has mentality of Ronaldo, and he's that kind of talented as a number 9.
Yeah. He's the best. We went
from a monopoly. We went from an era where it was a monopoly between Messi and Ronaldo for Ballon d'Ors, and we've gone straight from that into another monopoly of Ballon d'Ors between Mbappe and Haaland. That's all we've done.
I don't think Mbappe has a chance.
No, I think he'll be on that level because
if he changes the club.
Maybe, but I think because the reason I put both of them above everyone else is the same thing as they have that stone cold killer mentality of I will score no matter what.
I will
You touched on the mentality. I think mentality. We're seeing something with Mbappe.
Mbappe's mentality, I don't like his.
I don't like his mentality. I don't think
it's getting worse.
Somebody on Twitter.
That's why I'm giving the keys to the club.
Exactly. Yeah. You have lunatics running the assignment.
Before I forgot, somebody's tweeted yesterday or day before yesterday on Haaland. There's only way to stop Haaland if you put Mount in his offensive. If City gets Mount and he plays with Mount. I thought it was funny, man.
We could have got him as well, man, but he didn't want to come.
That's got to be that might be the biggest L that we as a club and a fan base might have got.
I was ready to spend all the money on free shirts with Haaland.
I'm guessing right now.
I was ready.
If Bowley had taken over the club the year before, I think he would have done it.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I think he would have taken everything. He would have put the buyout clause.
Yeah.
He would have put
possibly. Yeah, probably.
I think he would have done it. He wanted to buy Ronaldo, for Christ's sake. So Haaland was on the table.
By the way, with Auba, I don't want Ronaldo anymore. I don't think there's a space for Ronaldo anymore.
No, there isn't. If you get another striker, for me, it's got to be someone who does a little bit
young.
more.
Somebody got to be young and
I think who does a little bit more with the ball at their feet than Aubameyang does. Like
a little bit playing, step over guy. We have
not necessarily that. I'd say someone like a Tony or someone who can drop deep, play a bit more. So you have your guy who's like more of a traditional number 9 in terms of won't link up play too much, but will know his threat in the box. Then if that's not working, you need someone who's going to be a bit more involved. Then you have your option.
Do you consider Sane, the Spurs Sane is a forward or a winger?
Wait, who?
Which one? Sane.
Oh, Son. No, he's a winger.
He's
a winger.
Son.
Left winger.
Left winger. As he plays a left winger.
Left winger / forward.
You see, that's why I think like if we get in somebody, because I think we have Broja. I think what Broja does and Auba, what potentially those two can do. If we can get somebody like in that position beside it that can play, for example, like Sterling and
we already got someone, no? And Kunku.
That's what I think Nkunku can do.
I think
he can do. I think this is the thing with him. He can do both. I think he can, in my ideal world, as I said, be the 10 or the attacking 8. But if worst comes to worst, you put him as the number 9 and play almost like a false 9 where he can link up with everyone else. Like you can do either or, and then it means you can go and It means you can go and spend that big money on getting Liao in as well, and just make me really happy, please, Todd Bowley.
It's everything about me, Kai. By the way, Kai, when he came in, he stink up again. Yes.
Oh! Imagine my shock.
The thing is on the subs. I think apart from
stop Big Ron, fucking stop.
Graham Potter will do what's necessary and send them on an EasyJet flight to fucking.
What I will say is, in defense of Havertz and the other subs by Gallagher, I think by the time they came on, the game was so dead that they didn't really need to do anything and affect the game. No, I agree, but I didn't think there was
Gallagher did well compared to Kai.
Yeah, Gallagher did well, and like as I said, doing the skill he did was just I don't.
And I still think Gallagher is better. Gallagher is better in offensive zone as a mid.
And we scored 3 goals.
Gallagher is still better for me as in offensive than Mount is. I will die on that.
He was 100% watching Iniesta highlights last night. That's all, not the night before. Sorry.
Tuchelaban says Sterling needs to be rested. He's played every game. He probably will. Probably could see him rest a Wolves game potentially, because I feel like that's where we're going to have to rotate. It's either that or Villa, but Villa, you're throwing 2 games where anything could happen in that. So I could see him maybe start on the bench in that match. Also says, I've been to Bridge once. It was packed with old people and tourists, bro. Those Milan fans are ultras, big, different. Bro, the away fans always outsing the home fans. Always. Like that, European away, English away, it's always the same. Home fans are generally...
That's always the homegrown fans' excuse, though.
Yeah, because like it's just the way it's been with fan culture over the last 5-10 years. Like the atmosphere's just gone down in general. Every Big Six club has that issue. I think it's only Leeds and Newcastle that have good home crowds. Other than that, I think everyone else is just a bit mid. CNAC says ACL tears.
I've got to give it to Arsenal. I ain't gonna lie. I've got to give it to Arsenal. Arsenal make noise. They make noise.
Thank you.
Oh no, yeah, great, because they're top of the league and they're winning. We were the same thing.
No.
Give them like a couple draws or
Look,
something.
no. Even when Arsenal was shit, I still can hear. It's the different. It's the difference when they sing. When they're losing, it's not cheering. It's like Arsenal. But it's still
annoying.
Loud.
It's annoyingly loud.
It's annoyingly loud.
Apparently, we got
the reason they call the Emirates a library, bro. It's a library in that place. The Emirates.
That was the original library,
and then it moved to Emirates. That has got no. I'm sorry, you've only heard it recently. That before,
if I'm homegrown fan, I'm gonna have a voice like you all the time.
Yeah, cool.
Or I will be banned from matches.
Wait.
Probably quicker banned from the matches with lifetime ban.
You should be banned from matches.
I will be running on the field.
Chelsea fan hits Jorginho. That's what it's gonna.
Can you imagine? I tried the slide tackle and he dodges my slide tackle and like put me in
the Brazilian Ronaldo comparison is quite close.
Like, go to this Will University.
What do you say about Brazilian Ronaldo?
So the Brazilian Ronaldo and Haaland goal tallies are very close. I think Haaland actually just edges him at the age of 22.
Yeah. We are the witness of something great.
Not even close.
He is a great.
Original Ronaldo in the first 100 games, professional games, original Ronaldo scored 80 something.
No,
80.
I'm just talking at the age of 22, like because they did a thing comparison. And at the age of 22, Haaland scored 175 goals at the age of 22 in his career.
I thought it was 173, but yeah.
No, BT did like a stupid comparison between him, Messi, and
Messi. Yeah,
those are wing.
That's what I said. It's
45 Messi.
They didn't.
You're supposed to put his number versus Zlatan versus the original Ronaldo versus Diego Drogba versus Thierry Henry.
Just do it against Ronaldo. Just do it against the original Ronaldo. Just do it against him.
Well, not original. Original Ronaldo is not the one. You know who was actually? Is original Ronaldo the highest scorer? I don't think so.
Apparently, Pele's high
as a number 9. No, Pele
keeps adding out goals every year.
For PSV and Barcelona, he was scoring every game. For PSV and Barcelona, the original Ronaldo.
Pele counts goals in his back garden, man. I don't even know.
Pele's he's still going up. He's not even playing.
Yeah, but technically, the original Ronaldo was way better than Haaland. Haaland doesn't even sniff him. He was something else.
No, I don't.
Okay,
I don't know.
Technically,
I still for me the goat is Maradona, even though I don't like the ticket.
I understand what I was gonna
tricksters. I don't like step overs and stuff. But the guy was just like, I don't know. Maradona was the goat. Maradona is still the goat for me.
Everything you've just said, kind of what you don't like. That's for me what I do like, and why for me my goat is Ronaldinho. The way that he, when I watched him play, and it might be the same with you and Maradona. The way that I felt watching him play was something special. Like just watching him play.
Turn on TV just to watch Ronaldinho.
It's not about the position on the field. Is as a football player, doesn't matter what position. It's just enjoying him to watch, like Maradona. It's like, you see, people think that Maradona was like technically like how he can do stuff. What's his name? Not Robinho. Ronaldinho is mesmerizing to watch, but in the game, for example, Ronaldinho couldn't do that all the time and by himself because he had so much talent around him all the time. He had time to do it. If you watch, what's his name, Maradona, and especially when he was for the national team, the guy was just like Maradona. Like he doesn't. He's the way he moves. It's like so natural. It's not even funny.
He doesn't do step overs. He didn't do step overs. He didn't do flicks. He just like the way he moved the ball. He wasn't.
Oh, he does that, and that's why I'm taking the biggest L because that's the most thing I don't like in football. Like, it's not like I say I don't like it. I just don't want them to use it too much, and stuff like that. Maradona did not overdo it, and don't forget one big thing. What's his name? Ronaldinho was actually a football player.
Yeah.
Which is actually really, really hard to transition in a professional player.
And he did it.
Rarely players do.
Perfection.
Rarely.
He did it to perfection. Him and JJ ripping up PSG.
That's popular in Brazil. They all play that.
Yeah, but none of them actually. It's really hard to transition into the professional 11 versus 11.
Neymar. Sound like the entry level.
Yeah, they do it when they're young and it develops.
Yeah, I thought of that. Neymar, I don't. Sorry, people.
Neymar started as a football player, but he's one of them. I don't like.
I don't rate Neymar. I don't rate Neymar.
I don't rate
people
him.
Will say, "Oh, you're chatting rubbish," but he's never going to be a Ronaldinho. In my opinion, he's just another Robinho.
He had the potential, but he did it
had
himself.
The potential. And if he stayed at Barcelona, he probably would have fulfilled what he wanted to fulfill.
Yeah.
When he went to PSG, he flopped it.
Vin is better than him.
God bless you.
No.
God bless you.
No, he's not.
No, look, you have to. No. You have to say one thing: individual player or team player. And there's two different ways to put it. Eventually, it comes to how would you build your team. You know what I'm saying? To be unit. You can't just have all 11 of Neymar's or Ronaldinho's or you know what I'm saying? It will not work. So, for example, in a specific situation, I prefer what's his name, Ronaldo, a specific way versus Messi. Otherwise, if you build the team different, you will prefer to build it around Messi. But it's hard to say because it's such a detailed thing that's why it's hard. It's hard to get individual talent in the team sport. It's always been hard.
We thank God for the brilliance, though, man.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, and people forget like all of a sudden like players did not exist before. Like, do you know who's Marco van Basten was? He was the youngest. He's the only one that the numbers are actually mad when he was young. Like, was he
part of a World Cup winning squad or champion?
Yeah, he won the Euro. He won the Euro.
They won the Euro, but never won the World Cup.
He scored one of the greatest goals ever. Like that volley he scored is utterly insane. But yeah, that's why like the thing with me with players like Van Basten, like Mateus, who I know everyone rates, and like Hullet is I always say like that's why
super chat, please.
That's why when I
can I answer him?
I'll say whenever I talk about like my GOAT or like my favorite players or my best player in every position, it's always based on what I've seen because I never watched Van Basten, I never watched Maradona really, I never because I'm too young. So that's why for me
my GOAT is. Let's go. Never.
This
forget.
is your player of all time.
Got injured.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I prefer really not to speak.
How old are you guys? Well, Alex, are you a bit like in the 80s generation where you saw like Maradona and those guys?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm old.
I grew up on.
Yeah, I'm all Zidane.
Well, no, sorry. Before that, Fata, why was this the first thing that was on your head when I was talking about being on another tab?
Oh
why?
My God.
I think you based out what you were on.
This man talking about red light district. He's talking about red light district in Frankfurt, man. Let's see what this is the other day.
Roham, if you want to come on the stream and you can overtalk me.
I love
Shameless,
this
bro.
guy, man.
No one also says, moving aside likings, bias, and old memories, objectively, Messi is the GOAT.
In your opinion. In your opinion.
In your opinion. Yeah, that's it.
How can you?
You know why there's no GOAT? You know why there's no GOAT in football? Because there's not. No one. Everyone doesn't say who their GOAT is. Like there's no debate where everyone goes, yeah, it's Messi. It's not. It's just not. That's
or people should say, for me, here's the GOAT. That's it.
In my opinion, it's go. It's like if I was to go to who's the greatest sprinter of all time, who would it be?
Usain Bolt.
Exactly, right? Exactly.
I thought you said swimmer. I was like...
No,
because he's the one. It's not a team sport.
No, but what I'm saying is there's no, we don't even have to debate. I don't have to bring someone else up. It's Usain Bolt, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's
for NFL fans. Who's the greatest quarterback? I think it's
Tom Brady.
Someone might say someone else, but it's Tom Brady.
It's the same with basketball. It's like when people say who's the best basketball player of every time, there's about 5 that people would talk about depending on different generations.
Who's the best WWE superstar of all time?
You know what's funny about any sport? It depends on the team around them. Everybody brings up it depends on team around them. You see what I'm saying?
Too many factors in football.
You know, it's the greatest context. That's the GOAT. Context is the GOAT of all time. That's it.
Exactly.
Right?
Big facts. Ash says, off topic, but any idea of the release date for the cream-colored hoodies that the players are wearing? Those look good. Apparently, they're already in the Chelsea store, but they're not online. So I don't know whenever that's going to come out. Yeah, I know, but Nike are so slow with their release dates. I don't blame them.
It was released on FIFA before we released it, man. They showed it on FIFA.
It's fucking long. But I appreciate the donation. It is what it is. We're going to wrap up here anyway. We'll be back tomorrow for the Wolves.
In the stream, Dave.
Yeah, we're back to daily streams. Big up. So, yeah, smash
Watch
the like.
Fatur say something right at the end.
Big up everyone that's locked in.
Big up.
And
big up
head over to
Alex,
Johnny's
you
stream
know
or
you
something.
guys.
Tell him we sent you. He's live right
Big
now.
up.
So, yeah, everyone head over to Johnny's.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Big up. And as
Take it
always,
easy, man.
up the Chelsea.